Good evening. Welcome back to Iconic Productions Friday Night Show. It gets worse. I'm Josh. There we go. That's me. I'm Josh, the World Builder and Dungeon Master for our mostly 5th edition D&D campaign. It Gets Worse, set in a very bad, terrible place where things rarely get better, and they usually get worse. With us tonight we have Nick, guest starring as Durina, the Grandmama Drill Sergeant. We have Yoshi picking up Constantine, the half-orc fighter, because we do not have Jenny pretty much for the rest of the summer because she's, running an orphanage in Africa because she's a better person than we are. And Beth is just out this week. We have Mary playing Elmania, the former Blue Dragonborn, now Ravenfolk Bard Sorcerer, and Vera playing Grandmama. What did I say?
You said Vera playing somebody.
I'm sorry. And Grace playing Vera, the halfling Grandmama crime boss.
Yes. I don't actually method act, I promise. Especially with this character.
But who's really in charge? Is it Grace or Vera? I don't know.
think we all know Vera's in charge, but she always is.
Those are all the people that are here. So we're going to jump right back into when we last left our heroes. When I forgot to actually pull up the recap before we started here. Oops.
Good job.
When we last left our heroes, you guys had successfully rescued something like 35 plus prisoners
Big
from
heroes.
a horrible cave cricket, eye-eating, bear-sized cave cricket thing and its brood. Here we go. In the fight, unfortunately, both Galena and Karina lost an eye each.
Yes, that was fun.
But of the 35 plus people that you rescued, several of them retained their eyesight and their willingness to assist. You send Angmar, a former mercenary, former verminociter, to go find the remainder of his guild and rally them. You sent... you didn't send her. You found that one of them was a member of the Death Watch, whom you've been sort of trying to find and keeping an eye out for. She is blinded, but she can point you in the right direction to maybe find some survivors. And with the help of former Drill Sergeant Durina, you suborned several guard patrols into rallying all of those who still patrol outside the council district to rally in the slacks with the tunes that Elmania has written in their heads, and the rallying cry of the council district is the enemy.
Yes. Wait, the army of the true Onishire.
Yes, the army of the true Onishire. And you successfully extracted the last of the eggs that had been injected into the eyeless rescuees, and in short, you were big damn heroes. It is late in the evening on the 26th of Contact Month. The world ends in 4 days, so you have that time to plan, to gather your allies, and to make your moves before the red moon waxes full.
Remind me, we're meeting Bird Bones tomorrow?
Tomorrow you are meeting Bird Bones the Kobold, whom you convinced to overthrow his clan chief, and you armed him with a variety of knickknacks with which to do that.
And that was entirely selfish, because you know what Grace really wants.
Mostly because Grace wants to play kobolds, and so she is working very hard to make them a playable race.
Yes, I am. That's all I care about.
So, it is late. You guys are in your abandoned tenement buildings. The hallways are barricaded in places, doors are smashed down or just missing completely, but you guys appear to be the only inhabitants here. You're scattered at this point across maybe 5 or 6 adjacent rooms. What would you all like to do as the sun goes down?
Does anybody still have sending? Or have the spell slots for sending?
Just got sending.
That's so exciting! But do you have the spell slots to do me solid here with sending?
I have no idea how many spell slots I used last time because I wasn't here, so I don't know.
Well, it turns out that Dissonant Whispers is a first level spell.
It was magnificent.
So I'm pretty sure I burned every single one of your first level spells. I think you have all of your seconds and thirds.
Yeah, you only
left.
cast Dissonant Whispers.
Dude, rad.
That entire fight. By the way, Mary, Almanya totally came in clutch during that fight because Dissonant Whispers just kept chasing it away repeatedly. The monster, it was amazing.
Yeah, basically Almanya, Karina, and Damya stood side by side and like advanced 15 feet. They hit it, Karina and Damya hit it with some damage, and then you held Dissonant Whispers for whenever it came back to attack. So it would use all of its movement getting to you guys, and then it kept failing its save, so then it had to just run away and really attack.
Amazing.
It was great.
I'm here for it. I love it. Good.
So yeah, can Ira approach?
I have been sending so many times.
Well, three times.
3 times.
So Vera's going for ascending with Almanya, so you guys are going to work on that.
Yes.
Durina, Constantine, you guys are also gathered with Karina, who else? Damya, and Galena. You guys all kind of the principal members of this insurrection are all gathered around. So you guys are doing sending. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Excuse me, big man. May I use your knife?
Talking to me?
Yeah, big man. Do you have a name that you would like to give me, or I could keep calling you big man?
Oh my god.
No!
My name's Constantine.
Yoshi, you have a point of inspiration.
Wish
Wanna
I'd
use
heard
my
that.
knife?
No, he was just using fake chaw.
Gotcha.
Call it fake.
Never mind.
Well, Constantine, may I use your knife? Or something. I need to clean myself up. I've been down in the tunnels for too long, and I am overdue for a haircut. And you might be as well. But that's your business.
Don't touch me.
Well, I
Clean
didn't
this
ask to
after
touch you.
you're
May I
done.
have your
Give
knife?
it back. Take it.
Thank you. Cool. So, Durina takes the knife and just kind of starts working on giving herself a little bit of a haircut, getting herself back cleaned up, and just picking out little things of her robes and rags. That's all she's got on her, but she's got some pride, so she's going to spend a little bit of time just kind of getting cleaned back up. She can't have her dressing appearance looking shoddy.
Can't looking shabby now, can we?
Like we got 2 Southerners.
And now everybody starts doing a Southern accent.
Well, technically it's not even a Southern accent. It's technically it's Northerners have a Southern accent, which
Sure.
is confusing in his world.
Eventually, once I have had a chance to study it, I will stratify the caste system in the Borderlands and assign a different one to each caste. But I am not there yet.
You guys are Borderlanders.
Josh, I have a quick question. Does Almanya's short sword, Frederick, work like a normal short sword, or does it have any magical abilities to it or anything like that?
Is it just a short sword?
All it says in my note is Almanya's short sword is named Frederick, and I don't know anything else outside of
Yeah, that's just a short sword.
that. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Cleaning up, disputing a little bit with Durina. Constantine?
Well, guess I'm gonna go look around, see what's going on, check up on people and how they're feeling.
Okay. You looking at the people or like out windows outside the building?
Outside the building.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me a perception check, and just a straight charisma check. Vera, what messages are you trying to send?
I'm exclusively trying to send a message to Theodosia.
I rolled a 20.
Dang.
I rolled 16, but plus 4.
Okay. So you're sending a message to Theodosia. Okay.
Yes.
And I rolled a 5 on my charisma.
All right. What is the message?
Do I have to do it word for word, or can I just do generally?
How close to 25 words do you think
It's
you're
not
going
gonna
to
be that much.
Cool. Okay.
Basically, I just want to tell her, like, 4 days to the Red Moon, we know something big is going down. Where are you at with agreements that you can tell me? Love you.
Are you sure you want to say love you? She might not. She might think
I
somebody's.
will say, I love you, and I will end it with my call sign so she knows it's actually me.
Okay. Message comes back.
That's so sad.
I know.
I said I love you. That can't be Mom. No way.
I know. I'm a terrible human. Not a terrible human being. I'm a terrible halfling. But yes, I'm working on it. It says so on my character sheet.
Here it is. Okay. Good. There he is. Sworn not to tell.
Yeah.
Will pass intel to Claris.
To
Claris.
do I know that name? Or no?
It's a Freeman name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intel to Claris. I'm so sorry to burn your slots, Almania, but can I contact her again?
Yeah.
Cool. So I will use my 25 words to tell her basically, and maybe even the third slot if you're willing for me to do that, if I need more, to tell her basically all the tactical information that we have in Ream, like who we're gathering.
Yeah, I need exact words.
Okay. Because now I have to remember.
Cause I'm a dick.
Yes,
Do you
yes
wanna
you are.
do you wanna plan the words out?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds.
Almania, are you gonna give her the third slot as well, or did you want to send any sendings?
I'll give her the third slot.
Okay. Damia has not prepared any for today, simply because of all of the crap that's been going on the last couple of days. Combat and healing spells were more of a priority. So this will be, your third will be the last sending today.
Yeah.
Okay.
If she wants to send to another person, because you are sending it to a third person, right? This is your daughter and. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Constantine, perception check.
Perception
20?
was 20.
20.
My charisma check was 5.
I got I just learned how to use sending, and she's like, "That's great. I'm gonna use all of them right now."
Sorry.
So Constantine, as the sun goes down and you pass through the rooms, kind of do a circuit of the whole tenement, peering out the windows, taking a look. There are, you take note of kind of 3 stairwells that, if blocked, would seal this level off from everything below it. Looking out the windows, you primarily just see people scuttling about. Every once in a while, somebody kind of running down an alley carrying a bag of something. You definitely see, kind of in an alley off that way, several small, like very child-sized figures wearing cloaks, carrying blades and bits and pieces of wood and metal hinges. One of them kind of like drops a small bucket of nails and quickly scoops it back in, and they disappear into an alley. But for the most part, it just kind of looks like they keep glancing up at the setting sun, finishing up the last things that they can do, the last resources they can scrounge before nightfall. As you go among the rooms, trying to comfort people, check in on them, see how they're doing, you kind of do it in the barracks manner that you're used to. Loud voice, smacks on the shoulder, boisterous energy, and all of these people whose eyes have been carved out are just kind of huddled in the corner. Some of them just not responding to you at all, and just kind of all of the humor and energy that you're trying to kind of bring to them just falls dead.
Yeah, don't
Ready?
take it personally. It's been a long, and I'll kind of walk up, kind of wipe it off the stuff. like all I really did was just shave the side off and then just keep the top a little bit shorter.
Okay.
Yeah, don't take it too personally. They've had a long way, and it's I think just the light's a little too much for a lot of them. What'd you see out there?
Just divulge, like, mostly people scrounging up what they can, looking at the sun as it's going down. I see that we have about 3 stairwells. I figure if we barricade or we can use that, that's the only way for things to get up. So, if you want to help me rally some of these guys to help put in a hand, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we can see what we do. There's a low chance that any of that was, the people running around. Low chance that was theirs in the first place. But who's got anything nowadays? We'll see what we can do. I think most of them might need a little bit of a break. I'll give you a hand for starting now if you want, though. I'll call up a couple of the big guys, and Dorino will, like, point over at the stronger kind of looking ones and direct some people, like, hey, look after her, and just kind of keep people down, and just kind of call over a couple guys to help out Constantine.
It's kind of going Brooklyn there, Nick. I like it. The accent's kind of turned into Brooklyn, which I like.
I wanted to make it softer. It came in a real gruff.
It totally works. She's an old guardswoman. It's awesome.
Most of the people that you have remaining to you that are not kind of in the main circle of the party are blinded. But Karina and Damia certainly can help, so you guys get kind of a small crew together. What is the plan for blocking it? Are you just kind of like chucking stuff down until it piles up and prevents any movement through, or are you trying to do something a little finer?
What kind of staircases are they?
These are just one 10-step section. Hallways are about 3.5 feet wide. Small landing, 90-degree angle down to the next level.
Could they be, like, rigged to collapse?
Oh, you actually want to
That's
tamper with the
intriguing.
structure?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dangerous but intriguing.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an intelligence check. Constantine, engineering proficiency, probably not.
Okay, go with a 4.
A 4? Yeah. Yeah, you can make these to collapse.
Oh God in heaven.
Maybe I should collaborate with Dorina before I start tinkering with
Never
things.
mind. Oh gods who don't exist in heaven or in this
How
world.
about we collapse 2 of them? Have one just in case. Actually.
Maybe we find a way to have it collapse if a lot of things run out of it, instead of just being able to have knocking it down ourselves. If there's just a bunch of little bugs that run out, we can have them knock it down if they come out in a hurry.
Do you know how to do that?
I was looking to you.
Constantine, you know how to do that.
I feel like I could do it.
You could ask some of the people who are left if any of them are builders.
What a great question. That would require me to have a list of all
Which
of
you
their
do because you read
professions,
it off
which I do.
last week.
Beggar, merchant, criminals, alcohol.
If you didn't,
Opposite
I feel like I would be disappointed
Sure.
at this point. Known you.
You know, Dorina, go ahead and give me tell me, how would you approach a bunch of people and try to get some of them that might have some expertise here to give you guys some pointers on rigging the stairwells?
Well, if I remember, while we were down in the pit, before a lot of them lost their eyes, we kind of found a ways to make the pit a little more suitable. There's not much you can do with a hole. So there's a couple of people that I remember when the walls, as much as you can carve and find a good nook and cranny, and hey, like get a little bit of cover. I know a couple people who were a little more clever with that. So I'm kind of looking at them and saying, remember what they did there. Because you got to make a pit more comfortable somehow. So.
All right. In that case, give me a persuasion check, and you can use either your intelligence or your charisma modifier. modifier.
Um,
I think both of those
that's
are
0, 0, and I have disadvantage. Oh boy.
Oh, because
13.
you are malnourished.
13.
I
Not
forgot.
bad.
That could have been worse.
13. Okay. You've got a sailor, a couple sailors, and a mercenary who give you guys some pointers. So if you guys want to go ahead and rig 2 of the stairwells to collapse under, 5 or 6 people going down at a time. Let's have one of you with advantage, and then we'll add 3 from the NPCs. So with advantage plus 3, give me an intelligence. What would this even be?
I've got athletics to hit things precisely. I'm strong, but I don't have brute strength type thing.
Cool. Yeah, so we're gonna call this D20 plus 3 for proficiency plus an intelligence modifier. So one of you can make the roll with advantage, adding your intelligence plus 6.
Mine's
Oh,
I got nothing.
Perfect. Both of you with 0.
That's intelligent.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so
It's
D20.
10.
You want to roll? All right, D20 with advantage and add 6.
19.
19. Okay. You have rigged 2 stairwells, and you're fairly certain. There's no way to really tell without getting 5 or 6 people on them, but you're pretty sure that you could knock them over. You're also pretty sure you have not destabilized the entire structure too severely.
Too severely.
That's good.
By the way, Nick, your Oz is totally showing. Like, rigging a bunch of traps in this building.
Hey, what's Nick gonna do when he comes on stream? Who knows?
Make traps
Make
and
The
then.
same thing.
Yep.
Oh, Oz, my poor lost
Worked out
son.
really well for me.
Can
Okay.
we brightly mark the stairs that we didn't tamper with in case we need to leave?
Well, most of the people who have eyes helped you do it, and all of the ones who don't have eyes, that won't help them very much.
Fair enough.
I feel like we need to
I mean,
make
you-
this entire building to be like disability friendly. Like
You rigging stairwells to collapse is like the opposite
I know,
of.
that's why I'm like, you need to set up like guardrails so that nobody walks
Oh, okay.
down into what you've done.
Okay. Are you ready with your sending?
I'm ready. Yes. So next thing, I'll tell her. Allied with some watchmen brass, which I think is correct because we did contact the brass. Maybe remaining verminositors, death watch, kobolds. I want to see the reaction to that. Gathering in stacks compound against.
Stacks?
Sorry,
Slacks.
I meant slacks.
Okay.
In slacks, I feel like that's like Terry Pratchett or something is a stack. I can't remember.
The stacks.
Gathering in slacks compound against powerful council district magic. I want to warn them about that. Will make any deal.
We'll make.
You realize you
Okay.
just offered any deal.
Will make a deal.
No, you said
I
any,
said
and
we'll make
I'm
a
going
deal.
with
Hey,
it.
I told Durina before, like, I will shake hands with the devil himself at
You
this
have-
moment.
2 words.
Oh, I do.
That's 23. Allied with some watchmen brass, maybe remaining verminositors, death watch kobolds, gathering in slacks compound against powerful council district magic, will make any deal.
A deal.
Nope.
That's my 2 words.
Oh, that's your 2
I,
words?
I go,
Any deal, a deal.
Yeah. And then, like, pause. A deal.
Okay. Exactly
so she
25
knows
words.
it's me.
How long can you hold on to a sending that you've received?
You're the DM. I say you can just hold on in it and,
I mean, that would be fun, right? Somebody's going on a long journey, so you do like
yeah, you
15
could have a
sendings
call
to
holding.
them that they
Yeah.
can use at any time
I
during
like
that
it.
journey. Interesting.
I'd
I
say
don't know if I like that.
it's awesome though.
Yeah, let's, Almania, go ahead and give me a spellcasting ability check.
All right.
Big money. Big money on my dear. If not, I'm contacting her again, so it's be okay.
Sure.
So just add my spellcasting ability mod.
Yes, which should be plus 7 or 8.
Oh, nice.
That's my spell attack bonus.
Same thing.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's your ability score plus plus your proficiency bonus.
That's a 19.
You get no word, and you wait a natural 19?
No, non-natural.
Oh,
No.
Okay. You get no immediate response. You wait 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes. No response.
Okay. I'm so sorry, Amanya. Can I call her again? I feel like I'm talking to like the operator and being super apologetic.
Yeah, we can call her again.
Alrighty. I'll call her again with more info, just so that
Okay.
because in case they don't know, because I don't know what they know, Sam Volhane working for Blood Goddess may be resurrecting priestesses, which we've seen before. Know anything about the source or old wizard towers in Onishire?
Okay, that's 19. Scrivener, everybody. It's amazing.
Yes.
Not a sponsor.
Your father's not good. I'll be with him.
I'll be is the last word. Well, I'll be. Okay. For the sake of it, about an hour later, she can give you 50 words. She would
Sweet.
think way harder about it than I can at this moment.
That's
So,
give me a gist.
It's going to be about an hour. So is there
Yeah.
anything in particular that anybody wanted to do this evening?
Can I go to Gideon and stay with him for the night?
Okay, so you're just going to Gideon to stay for the night. Okay.
It's my son. Who's 9. I could actually. Can I take Elena with me since she's sick too? And I don't think she wants to be with amongst a whole bunch of people who would panic. So, because she's the sickest, right, of everybody.
She is, which means she can't really hang out with them, but
Yeah. So, like the major quarantine unit is going to be over by Gideon.
Okay. Galena says, I know I can't get close to them, but I think I'm more needed here.
Is she gonna do her another little group therapy session that was so cute like before? Are you going to do group therapy, dearie? Because it was very sweet.
I don't know how common this kind of thing is outside of the Shadowed Mount, because I've been out for 3 weeks, maybe? Oh wait, no, because she would have come across with, so actually, more like a couple of months. But I think it could help them.
It's pretty rare, so I'd say give it a try.
Even if only to help them sleep. Because
You
Jenny
are-
has pioneered the use of key points to put willing people into anesthetizing sleep. So that's cool.
No, Galena, you are good people.
For it.
Okay. So you're going to Gideon.
Mhm.
Anybody else doing anything in particular tonight?
Really want to
You've
that.
booby-trapped your building.
Yeah, I really want to catch that sneaking daughter-in-law of mine at one of these times.
Just freeze it.
I'm not sure what else we could do besides just kind of clean
Okay.
up the people. Yeah, so kind of
Okay.
doing what I did to myself and just kind of cleaning people up, with the nothing we have, but just kind of dust people off, get them some sense of dignity.
Okay.
Now that
are
we're
you
out.
are you going to a well to grab some water, or you're just kind of taking
No,
rags
just what
and
we-
wiping faces? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, what we got.
All right, tending to your broken group of NPCs. I need somebody to roll me a d12.
Yeah, this is for an attack.
You have reached a critical mass
Yeah.
of people in one position.
Yeah.
No.
4.
4. Okay. I need a watch order.
I'm not there. Sorry, guys.
So you're not there.
I'll take it first.
I love that you
Yeah.
rolled the d12.
And
You're
I'm
all gonna
like,
suffer.
this is all your responsibility, people.
Constantine first watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll stay up too, just because I haven't seen the sun in a little bit, and I could use a sunset. So.
Okay. Catching the last of the sun on the first hour or first couple hours of watch. Next watch, Almania. Damia will stay up with you, which leaves third watch to Karina and Galena. There we go. Okay. Constantine and Durina. The sunset is nice. It's from your building. You're facing almost directly west. You guys kind of occasionally one of you gets up, checks on everybody, circles back around, but otherwise you guys are just kind of sitting, standing, leaning against the wall. All of the doors, the furniture, most stuff has been taken. The building is pretty gutted. But you guys just kind of share a couple hours, well, about half an hour before the sun actually fully goes down, of just a lovely sunset. Occasionally, as everybody else kind of fitfully goes to sleep, you hear people crying out. You go, you comfort them, get them back to sleep. But the remainder of your watch consists of a lot of silence, somebody waking up from nightmares, silence, occasionally punctuated by that.
You know, the silence is nice. You don't realize how quiet something can get when all you hear is bug legs all night, always.
Can we put that on the t-shirt too?
Yeah.
You never know how quiet something is when all you hear is bug legs.
I get that.
Got any of that, Shaw?
Hold it up
Sure.
to the camera. Can't see it.
I'll take some.
There you go.
All right.
Drina's amazing.
Yeah. It's the little things that help. But I don't think we have enough toilet paper to endure this shitstorm we're about to go through.
Okay.
Can't tell if that was literal or a metaphor. Because yeah, we actually don't have enough
Yes.
toilet paper in this tenement.
Toilet paper doesn't exist.
Both.
All right. So add to that, I suppose, one corner of the room very quickly becomes a brown-stained mess.
I don't fucking people.
Constantine Durina impresses you with her ability to target tobacco spit. I also just had to write down, wait, where does tobacco come from?
That's a good question. 'Cause you gotta pick the right climate right there.
Well, I've started a binder where it's like, all right, rice climate. Great. Okay, now which of the great cities matches this? Okay, because I hate myself and I've started trying to figure out economics.
You can make up a
Macro
new
or
thing.
micro?
Like there could be nicotine. You can make
Right,
up new
exactly.
drugs, new all kinds
Exactly.
of yeah.
I mean, what is pipe weed for the hobbits?
Right. But it's
knows?
good to base it on something real. Just as at least a launching point. So yes, it's good to know things before you invent things. Okay. Almania and Damia, your watch passes fairly quietly, occasionally running into the same people waking up, having to kind of hush them, looking out windows, making sure nothing heard, nothing comes by. Almania, can you roll me a quick perception check?
That's a natural one. So,
Cool.
no.
Almania and Damia, your watch passes uneventfully.
Excellent.
Now your watch is in.
Karina and Galena do their watch. None of you are woken up outside your watch. The night passes, as far as anybody can tell, uneventfully.
I hate the phrase, as far as anyone can tell, uneventfully.
Well, I don't want to say nothing happens, and then it turns out something did happen, and you're like, but you said! Just making it clear from the perspective of your character, it was a peaceful night.
Oh, okay.
Mostly. So, you all wake up in the morning. Nope, Dorina still hasn't eaten food, so you're still malnourished. Anybody who has any exhaustion, which I believe was just Galena and Karina.
Yes. The whole eye ripping thing.
Damia has treated the wounds. They've gotten a rest. Okay, exhaustion is wiped out.
Did
Okay.
I hear back from my girl?
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. Cool. I definitely gave thought to the message here.
So sorry. Talk amongst
you
yourselves.
actually wake up kind of in the middle of the night with Theodosia's words spilling into your brain.
Okay.
Okay. You kobolds, wizard. Okay, cool. Which means I need to roll.
Just a reminder, this is my granddaughter who's currently hanging out with the Bremen, not Legion, because they're not here, but like a Legion team somewhere nearby.
Nothing on.
Yeah.
All right, nothing on towers.
Right.
Source. Claris will deal. Check. Check grandfather's notes.
By the way, this is my headcanon, but Gideon was I'm totally ma or grandmother, like a little bit more formal. Gideon was totally granddad. Like,
Okay.
That was his personality.
So nothing on towers. Source. Claris will deal. Check grandfather's notes. Say bye to dad.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Dad and uncle.
Yeah.
Okay. What else did you have? Kobolds. Sounds fun.
For Grace, yes. I'm delighted.
Claris needs time, place, will bind me. So don't fuck it up.
I would have slapped her if she were here.
She probably knows that.
I know, that's my girl.
Oh, this cursing thing, it's fun. I've never gotten to do this.
I'll wash her mouth out with soap the next time I see her.
Kobolds.
Use one for slots to tell her that.
Yeah, I probably should.
Likelihood of success. Detail of forces against. Take the candles. They are dangerous, so be careful.
Okay. Do I know what she's talking about?
But No?
Yeah, I don't. Because the only candles I know about are the Samplehane ones that Talia had. So
Talia had candles from
she
Central
had
Land?
the message sending candle
Oh,
wax
yeah.
thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Also, maybe I should roll insight on this. It might just be Grace being stupid. But trying to interpret what she was asking me to do is, so Claris needs me to set a time and a place to meet and give him this information. Namely, likelihood of success. But is he sending Theodosia to be the negotiator? Is that what she meant by will bind me?
Yeah, you can roll insight or insight, intelligence, or wisdom. Either one.
My insight's better. It's still not great. It's 8.
8. You're not sure.
Okay. That's how Grace is interpreting that. So
Okay.
cool. I'll need to find myself another sending. Sorry, Almanya or Damia.
Speaking of which, it's the morning. Your spell slots are returned. Your hit points are all returned.
Nice.
Darina, you and all of the other people from underground badly need to eat.
Yeah, so I'm no longer exhausted, but still malnourished, right?
You are still malnourished. Correct. So the exhaustion is gone. You still have. I mean, you actually technically
I'm
had 2 points of exhaustion. One from malnourishment, one from just straight up being tired. So the tired one is gone. You are still malnourished, so you still have disadvantage on ability checks. I also need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, hopefully not for infection.
Saving throw does not have disadvantage. Just ability checks.
It says disadvantage on con saves for malnourished.
Oh, it does. I'm sorry. Yeah, total?
14.
14. Okay, you do not gain another point of exhaustion. So you're set at 1 ability. Ability checks and then con saves at disadvantage.
So nothing changed.
So nothing changed.
Okay, cool, sweet.
Just to
Sorry,
clarify.
I forgot what I wrote. I kind of went to those emails. You texted me this morning, and I was like, oh, fantastic! I can give another NPC off to somebody else. And I just kind of said things. So
No worries.
remind me
It's
of the
fine.
things that I said, and yeah.
Well, we need some food. Good morning. I guess that too.
Sure.
Good. Where do we get food, huh?
You guys have spent most of the time upstairs, so where are we getting food? Go find some?
I'll go and look for some food for him.
Sorry, I'm not there. I can't. Kivitz.
Ah.
For
I would
the
go,
sake of
right?
time, I assume that Vera kind of makes
Yeah,
her
I'll
way
join you in the
over.
morning.
Yeah.
Say, well,
Okay.
food is a bit of an issue here because the city is almost picked clean. As you can imagine, there are many in our predicament. But we can certainly send out scavenging parties if possible. And I hate to say it, but rats, anyone?
Better than we had before. Okay. Let's get who can go. Josh, how many people are looking in any way rallied to go do something? Like everyone looks exhausted. I mean, we got 35 plus people. How many people look even? Would I even want to take with me?
I mean, Vera, Karina, Konstantin, Almanya, Damia, Galena, Darina.
Yep.
We Flow is ready whenever you guys want to go find
Yeah.
the Death Watch. Other than, oh, I'm sorry, Alphalas
He's not a fighter, though. As
is
dearly
definitely
as we
not
love
a
him.
fighter.
He can see.
He just needs to carry something.
Followers,
Like,
there we go.
But he's like, I would like protect him with our lives though, so we might want to keep him here. Like, he is baby and we need to keep him
and
here.
you want to
he's
leave
safe.
him? That's protecting him. You want to leave him?
That's a
back
good
here?
point. That's a good point.
Enin,
He's like our emotional support person here.
Enin the Entertainer.
Oh, I hate him. That's not his name. His name is Self-Importance. We named him last week.
Enin the Entertainer is perfectly able-bodied. but
No.
he's sitting in a corner, glaring at the other refugees.
Guys, he sucks, and he also clocked me for all of the weapons I have on me. So do not trust that man.
You've got Isolde, the Weaver, who has no combat ability, but has her eyes and is able-bodied. And then you've got a woman named Mary Charcer, who she has the muffled chain shirt and the boar spear. Not super competent with it, but can get the job done. So you've got maybe 3 outside the party who could really be of assistance at all.
May I suggest that perhaps we combine our sorties, so to speak, because we have other business in the city, and we could jointly make that a scavenging party as well. As in, I need to quickly send a message into the main compound, which is nearby.
Yeah.
We also need to go and talk to our kobold friends, so certainly on the way, that can also be a scavenging mission. I am wondering, though, if we don't want to maybe leave some people, as you've suggested, here as defense for the people who are currently here. And I'm wondering if leaving maybe Mary and the other people not technically of our party here as protection for the people who remain might be a good idea. And just have the A-team going forward.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Just whoever can move quickly.
Right.
I know that would be the biggest priority.
Right, exactly. And fortunately we are now in sunlight, so the ghouls will be less of a problem. We've actually found that moving through the slacks has not been an issue. We've been rolling the d12s, but it has been horrible. Not in the daytime.
Yoshi, would you give me a quick d20 roll?
9.
The entire roof collapses. The
9.
structural integrity of the tenement collapses.
Okay, and then one more.
2.
2. Okay.
You're getting
Man,
getting the bad rolls out. They're gone now.
Carry
One
on.
of them, dog.
Carry on, great. I love mysterious rolls that don't have immediate resolution. So the plan is, again, I just need to stop up really fast and send in a message to my son in the compound, passing on what I've spoke to with my granddaughter, and then go and see Bird Bones, and all along the way do some reconnaissance for supplies. Sound good? We also have a bag of holding for supplies, so we don't need people to carry stuff, which is nice.
Oh, that would be good information.
Yes, we got Jeeps, so...
Jeeves, who I think is mostly filled with flail snail shell.
Yes, it is filled with flails.
So you have very little room remaining in Jeeves.
Almanya, would you be okay with maybe storing the flail snail shell? Say that 5 times fast.
Storing the flail snail shell.
Perhaps in one of these tenements, or even in Gideon's tenement, which is more secure, just for freeing up some supply space.
Possibly, but
Like half of it.
and I want to make sure nobody takes it. 'cause
These blind people are probably not going to abscond with it into the night, fingers crossed.
I've been holding on to it. I'm like emotionally attached to this flail.
I know.
I've been trying to find someone to work with it for months.
You already gave, I think, half of it for Callista to hold on to.
Yeah. It
I
was
don't
actually
remember
quite
how much of it, but there was a
Yeah.
good chunk that Callista is holding on to for you.
So maybe we can just like store like half of it out of Jeeves, and that just clears up some supply space.
Okay.
Yes. I can like tuck it under Gideon's bed, and no one will go near him because he's literally dying of the plague.
Harry has been holding on to this for a long time, and Almanya has too because you know, it's been a long road, and I've been trying to find someone who could work with it for so long. Okay.
We're only going to store half of it, so we're still, even if that gets lost, we'll still have like half of it in Jeeves of what's currently left.
It's my personal passion project at this point.
If you find somebody who can work it, it will be worthwhile.
It's gonna be fly.
Just Onishire is not the place for magic
Someone
smiths.
agree with it? And Josh goes, no. And I go, it's gonna have to stay in the bag.
If we ever go back to Vreem, I feel like Vreem is the best choice.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I won't be happy about it.
We'll put it under Gideon's pillow.
So you're storing 150 pounds
Lord.
of flail snail shell in the compound or in the.
Well, we can't go in the compound because we're infected.
Okay, so you're basically
Storing it here in the
sequestering it
tenement,
here
yeah.
in the tenement.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, between all of the gold that Jeeves is carrying and all of the flail snail shell that Jeeves is carrying, you guys have about 150 pounds of stuff that you can carry in
Cool.
Jeeves.
If we can find 150 pounds of food in this city, I will be very happy. And it is extremely unlikely.
That's a lot of rats.
Exactly. That's a lot of rat murder that needs to happen. So
Are we spending the first part of the day literally rat hunting?
well, I need to run and send in a note to Benji about everything Theodosia said.
Okay, so you're sending a note in about
and I can
Theodosia.
send it via Shoji as well, because she
Yeah.
can go in.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, we need Sho with us.
Shoji.
Sho's amazing. We need to take Sho.
So real quick, the party is Durina, Almanya, Constantine, Vera, Shoji.
Yes.
Are you taking anybody else?
Is that everybody who's part of the
Uh,
team?
Damia, Karina.
Let's take Damia. We need our healer.
Okay, leaving
Yes,
Karina.
I would leave Karina just because to leave a healer-ish with the B team.
And then also Galena. Do you want to take Galena with you or no? Jenny's gone all summer, so it's not like next session she's going to be here and we're going to have to be like, how do we get Galena back into the...
Right. I'd say take Galena because
Take Galena with
she's
you?
awesome.
Okay.
She's a level 8 monk. She's awesome.
Okay. Oh my
Yes,
gosh, 1, 2,
indeed.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Sorry. There's safety.
Cool.
If there's one thing we've learned in this campaign, everybody, there's safety in numbers. So, this is, yeah, the wise decision.
It's, okay. Well,
Especially if
And
there's some
Durina definitely
rats.
echoes that. We could honestly move through the straight, like middle of the street, with how many armored people we have. So
Fingers crossed.
Damia says to you, Durina, you clearly haven't been in the streets for some time.
I was about to say that is anti-Vera's entire life philosophy. It's just like you go under the street or you go on the roofs.
As distasteful as it is, we have found that journeying through the alleys mostly is safer. Okay, so you send a note about Theodosia to Benji.
Yes, basically everything you just said,
Yeah.
candles, etc.
Okay.
And making it, and I'm going to offer a suggestion to him if you can get back to me, is I'm happy to meet with whatever representative arrives. I'm thinking the docks, because that would be the easiest for probably them to get to, and we were able to get to it.
Okay.
And there didn't seem to be that many people there during the daytime.
Okay.
So that's the time and the place suggestion. I didn't say a time.
Grady returns personally.
Alrighty.
Okay. How many Freemans?
To be perfectly honest, I have no idea. But it seems to me, based on... Oh, that might have been the previous campaign, which I wouldn't know. But the idea that Vreem tends to send in little reconnaissance teams ahead of the legions, like it's clearly not a legion, because we would have seen them.
You are aware of 3 Vreeman squads in Onishire at the moment.
Right, but I'm not allowed to talk about that. So
Correct.
I'm going to...
You are not allowed to betray that information to enemies of Vreem, which Benji would count as.
Right. So I'm going to say, Grady, you've probably heard of the Vreeman Oath system, correct?
Yeah, everybody has.
Right. Well, unfortunately, in order to get transport here with Vreemans, I cannot tell you how many there are. Only it is less than a legion. And more than one. It is a force...
So between 1 and
I
6,000.
will tell you this, again, I'm trying not to cripple myself with this magic. And
No,
so
no,
I want to tell
understood. By all means.
you. All I
Don't
can
tell me
tell you
anything
is
more.
it is a force enough to be useful to us, especially with the contacts that they have, which will be certainly to many more.
Given that, your son would have me say, we cannot take them or station them here.
In the compound, you mean?
In the compound,
Agreed.
and in the aftermath, we might be forced to turn on them. So, you may meet with them as you,
Agreed.
as the Harp and Soul.
Agreed.
You may not meet with them as representatives of the Mayweather family.
Agreed. And I know you cannot bind me with any oath magic, but I bind myself here to an oath that I will do nothing against the interests of the family with them. This is entirely on me. It's very much the same as the deals I'm making with others.
Ma, your dedication to the family is not in question. You need swear no oaths to me.
I know, Grady, and I know certainly your loyalty is not in question, but I want Benji to know that I said that. If it makes sense.
All right, he will know it.
And, again, as I said to somebody yesterday, we need to start making deals with the devil. Well, we know who the devil is, and it's the blood goddess. We need to make deals with every other devil that they're made.
Not to say we're not making a deal with the blood goddess.
I know,
I
she's the
don't
devil.
like you saying that.
But
often,
the
just
minor
repeatedly
demons-
saying deals with devils. I don't know if she's okay with
Vreem
that.
is okay. To grace the player, Vreem is the devil, and the fact that I am personally considering this is
Yeah.
a thing. So, yeah.
Yes. If you know of any devils that could rival her power, we'll talk.
Well, I know of perhaps not a devil, but perhaps a more angelic force, at least that I've heard of. Is you know Damia, who's been traveling with us?
Damia raises her hand.
You know Damia, who's been traveling with us?
I don't.
Damia? Great. Grady? Damia. Damia is a, I sort of turned and looked at Damia. I don't know the correct terminology. Is priestess appropriate? Follower? Acolyte?
Oh.
Like what, actually what is her title in
Why am I'm blanking on her title. Hold on.
Isn't she a priestess or something?
Because I don't think that Silverloon uses the priestess title. At least she didn't in the last campaign. Except for the matriarch.
Altar
Miss
girl.
Calista. Altar girl!
Little past that. I can tell you that with some confidence.
Deaconess.
The cantor?
Cantor's good.
Why am I blanking on her name? Well, Scrivener is not responding. Damia gives you her title.
Excellent. Damia is a fill in the blank of, shall we say, a counter force as far as we've been able to determine to the power of Seronomy. And you know me, Grady, you've been with me for many years. You know that I'm certainly not religious. But
Who is?
Precisely. But I have to confess, I have seen things that this power has. There's something real there. Certainly the power's real. And perhaps is worth investigating. I feel like it's acolyte or something. It's not
Yeah,
priestess.
she actually holds no official position within the temple. She is simply an acolyte.
Okay, so I'll say acolyte.
Yeah.
And I've seen the power, and the power is real, and that I do know. And the power that I have seen, and again, you know me, you know that I am a reasonable judge of this sort of thing, is not malevolent in the style that the Blood Goddesses is. It seems sincere.
She's a tiefling.
She is.
She carries the blood of demons.
She does, and apparently her goddess, or force, or whatever that is tempering it.
back me up here. Constantine, was it?
Yeah.
Demons, excellent at deception, betrayal, bloodshed.
Well, they're no strangers.
I've
to
seen
it.
humans better at both.
That's certainly true.
You've seen a demon before.
Fair enough.
That's what I thought. I haven't either, but
Grady, dearie, are you questioning my judgment in this matter?
Boy, if I may, listen to your mama.
Because Grady was with me
said
when
the
I was...
half-orc to the human about the halfling.
Because for the record, Grady has been with me since I was in charge.
No, he came
Because
he
I've
came
been in
a
charge
little
since
while
5
ago.
years ago.
What?
Gideon only died 5 years ago.
Oh, no, I know. But Gideon's a human, and you ran the organization for almost 200 years.
Right, yes. Grady's huge.
So he definitely came along later.
Yes, but I was in charge when he came along. He
Oh,
knows,
yeah.
He knows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm no fool.
Not my mom. I mean,
I'm offended, Bobby.
Fair.
That was a joke.
He pales a little bit.
Teasing, darling dearie.
I am not questioning. I am questioning. I am questioning the hold that she might have over you.
I understand she has been eminently useful and helpful to me, to us, on our travels. I, again, can only speak to you, and believe me, it's the only thing I believe is the evidence of my eyes.
Understood, but Ma, there's a reason that we usually direct tieflings who want to join the organization to the angels.
Agreed.
They simply cannot be trusted.
Agreed. Although, under the circumstances, I would shake hands with the angels.
Well, that is not encouraging.
I know.
Mostly about the situation that we're in.
Exactly. And if I would shake hands with the angels, and if Benji would and if you would, they're not the blood goddess, they're whatever they are, then I would shake hands with whatever this power is, because this power has not tried to kill me and has in fact saved my life on multiple occasions. When frankly there was no profit in it for her.
That you could see.
That I could see.
But she
Watch for the other foot. Watch for the other foot coming down is all I will say.
Oh, believe me, dearie, I'm the one who's taught everyone else that.
All right, I will tell what
Consider
you've
it
told
is
me to
all I
Benji.
ask. Consider it as all I ask
course.
is that we're to the wire here. And anyone who isn't the blood goddess, frankly, anyone who challenges the blood goddess for whatever reason, for whatever profit they might have, this is Reem, this is the angels, this is another goddess of some kind.
No caste, no family, no only true Onishire. We've the halflings in this compound have not let that tune leave my head for days. I have not forgotten.
A small success for my friend.
All right, and one last thing, and he kind of steps close to you, bends way down. You have been exiled for appearances' sake. Benji wants you to know nothing has changed between you two. The people do not know that you have been infected. As far as anyone knows, you have been exiled for Benji's authority. It would be best if you did not come around personally anymore.
I understand. Am I showing symptoms?
No, at this point, every morning, Damya is basically bleeding all of the... Oh, speaking
She
of
needs
which,
to do that, yes.
everybody needs to make Constitution saves. Remind me about that in a minute. Not you. You're not infected. You're good.
I understand. And perhaps you could tell Benji that I do hope that something has changed between the two of us since I came back for the better.
still whispering to you. No, everybody else can just see that there is quiet talk going on, but you cannot hear the words. I cannot speak for what Benji will do. Should Gideon finally pass, and all of the authority truly pass to Benji, it would be best for him and the family if you did move on.
Yes, I know. Which, I agree and understand. I merely meant to say that, I hope to leave on better terms than, perhaps we've had, most of his life.
I'm sure that will be between the two of you. All right. If there's nothing else, I have duties to attend.
Good luck, Grady. You've been a good friend, and I haven't said that enough.
And to you, speaking personally, if you make a deal with the Freemans, I know how they are with people of my abilities. I would appreciate if I went unmentioned.
Grady, I don't even know your name. I don't know who I'm even talking to right now.
Perfect. And don't come back. And he
Never
turns
again.
and walks into the compound.
Never again. All hail Benji. And I turn around and walk out.
Okay. So, you doing something? Party. Are we hunting rats until the meeting with Bird Bones?
Sure.
Would everybody please just give me a straight survival check?
Oh, and Constitution as well, mentioned.
DC is 15. So just let me know how many successes that you end up with.
How many rolls?
Fail.
Success.
Just one per each person. Sorry, I'm rolling for 3 NPCs, which is why I rolled a bunch.
Are we rolling rats or?
Survival.
This
rats.
is survival. Basically, you are
Rat
foraging.
hunting.
No,
I'm
sure,
sorry,
gotcha.
I don't need to yell. You are foraging, so it's a survival check.
No, yeah, absolutely not.
Absolutely
No.
not.
Got some.
No.
Okay, Constantine, Shoji, Damia, and Galena,
The half-blind Galena, great.
all find. Yeah, I mean, you know, it
Perfect
works.
depth perception.
She just kind of senses them.
She senses their tiny little rat key.
What is the? Hold on. There's actually a number for this. Okay.
Josh, this is what you have reduced us to: hunting rats through an occupied city.
Yeah. No, that's too much math. I just need. Sorry,
I don't want to do math here.
I typed in 5e foraging to double check the numbers, and
It's super complicated.
well, somebody was talking about calories, and I was just like, no,
Nah.
no. Foraging.
Were we
gathering
by the
food.
docks? Didn't you say we were by the docks?
Or I'm eventually gonna head to the docks, but not yet.
So Constantine, go ahead and roll a d6.
This is how many rats you murder.
Well,
Six.
I'll find out
6
when I-
rats. He murders 6 rats.
7, 9 plus. Okay, among the party, you have 15 pounds of
15
dead,
pounds of rat meat?
dead rats and other vermin, bits and pieces of food that you found in abandoned homes, kind of tucked away in the backs of cupboards
Cans.
that hadn't been
Yeah.
quite got. Not cans. Canning has not been invented. Sorry.
Jarring has, I'm sure.
Uh,
Preserves.
Sure. But Pasteur has not yet been born.
Yeah, you don't need him. That's the whole point of pickling. You don't need
pickling.
pasture.
Pickling, sure. Actually, you know what? That's fair. You guys
Like
live
fruit
on
preserves,
the sea. Yeah,
that's
never
the
mind.
point of a jar.
Sure, you find pickled goods. You guys have about 15 pounds. I'm sorry, is it 15 pounds or 15
Individual rats.
enough food for 15 people? I think it's enough food for 15 people.
Oh, that's not bad.
Now that's like a full day of food for 15 people.
So
You could divide that up.
you could divide that up further. So you guys return quite a bit of food. Everybody gets at least a little bit. Durina, you have a full meal. Tomorrow, that exhaustion from malnutrition will be gone. I know malnutrition is far more complicated than that, but we're gonna go with 24 hours. Okay. And it is time to go find bird bones.
I'm so excited.
Vera, if you would roll me a d20, please.
Oh god, what is these d20s for? We still need to roll a con, by the way.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Go ahead and roll me a d20.
That would be a
please.
1.
Natural one?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll another.
10. You are going to
10. Okay, good. Okay. Yes, now I need, thank you, Constitution rolls with advantage from Vera. Go ahead.
Nat 7. Is this a saving throw?
It is a saving throw.
21.
Oh. You've succeeded, this is your third success, correct?
Yeah, am I freaking cured?
Vera, you have kicked the Red Harvest.
Oh my gosh, for the second time. You know what I find hilarious is I built this character to be deliberately weak and like low con. Why is Galena the one who's dying of this crap?
So Vera has kicked it.
Yes.
Shoji is immune. Damya.
Please. Did she succeed, please God?
I actually have to check her character sheet because it's close.
Oh, come on.
Damya has kicked it.
Oh, nice. Or at least has not advanced. Oh, Damia's
No,
kicked
she's kicked it. Yeah.
it. Damia's kicked it entirely.
Okay.
Okay.
So you two no longer are infected with Red Harvest. Almanya, if I could get a Constitution saving throw, please. With advantage.
Non-natural 21.
Almanya, you have kicked the Red Harvest.
Sweet.
It's 3 consecutive saves before 2 total fails.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mess. Okay, which brings us down to Galena.
But that means that we also get to roll with advantage anytime we get it again.
Correct.
Without having lesser restoration on us.
Galena rolls a natural 20.
Please say that gives her like 2 successes or something crazy.
No, because she is in stage 2, which means it's just a waiting game. There is no natural kicking of it, and it's just until
Well, give her 2
it
days or
progresses
something.
to
Give
stage
her like double
3.
days.
Um,
Come on, a nat 20 is a rare thing.
we'll call it 2 days. So if I try to have
Jenny, I love you, and this is me fighting for you.
if I try to have Galena roll the next day, remind me that she's automatically succeeded.
Right.
So Galena doesn't roll until the 2nd.
And do you have to roll for Gideon, or have you been rolling for him? Because he's
I pre-rolled all that.
okay. Because he's been
I have a calendar
doing
up.
remarkably well.
I have a calendar up here, and so I have checks and X's just kind of across it for like 3 different things.
Actually, can I ask really fast?
It's
How
color
did he seem last night?
Worsening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Those saves, information delivered. You guys are going to meet Firelord. No, sorry, Bird Bones.
Virgo's the kobold, everybody. Hopefully he has succeeded in his weird little kobold revolution and can join our weird little revolution. No, it wasn't a revolution. He was doing a total coup.
Okay.
There was no justification for it whatsoever. We assisted in the change of power in kobold society.
Okay. You guys make it to
Oh, and we come
The-
with presents.
house. You have presents?
Well, Jeeves is full of random crap, so
No, Jeeves
Yeah.
is full of gold, flail snail shell.
I have like weird alchemical kits and stuff I can't use that he seemed delighted with, so
We
taking all
have
that stuff.
supplies in there. glassblowers tools, jewelers
Oh,
tools.
that's true.
None of which we can use.
That's right. You have all of those kits and,
Yes,
and
that he loves.
tool sets.
Individual files and teeth and all sorts of stuff. So I still have most of those. I've just been dropping at individual pieces. So
Yeah.
a lot of-
He really loved that like jeweler's kit like file that you sent down too. That was his favorite thing. So
Okay. Hmm.
please say after this interaction, Grace can be 2 kobolds in a trench coat. It's all I
Okay.
want from life.
Okay.
Their names are gonna be Lex and Rex, and they're gonna argue all the time.
we also have a lot of different types of bark and 16 bottles.
Okay.
We do
So-
have all of that bark that we still have not identified as ash bark, which still makes me laugh.
Just grind it all up and snort it. I mean,
What could go
Hell yeah.
wrong?
Galena can't be more screwed. That's not true. It can always get worse.
Thanks, that's the name of the campaign.
Cool. Who is in front of this group?
Almanya, you had the best relationship with Birdbones before, because you were very
I
persuasive.
just talk to him because we have the same language. So yeah.
Because
Okay.
he speaks Draconic.
Almanya, if you would roll a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Oh gosh, kobolds. Sorry. Sorry for throwing you to the kobold trap.
Natural 20.
Dang.
Natural 20.
Dances out of it.
That's
Almanya, as you guys are walking kind of in a loose group, you hear just kind of an and you react immediately, look to your right, shove a couple of people out of the way, and there's this kind of mostly burned out building next to you where the entire like frame of the wall, all of the plaster and everything in the middle is missing, but the entire frame of a tenement building just kind of towards you guys. And you shove everybody so that when it slams into the ground, you're all standing in the spaces of it.
You did a Buster Keaton.
I
That's what
told-
you're telling me.
She rolled a natural 20. I mean, come on.
These guys
If
would be
you're-
so useful in a street fight, though. Because, I mean,
If you're not sitting on the front of a train trying to stay there holding an 8x8 and knocking other 8x8s off, I mean, what good is a natural 20?
There's a natural
I look
20, yeah.
I look over at Constantine and say, "Oh, that would have been a good way to do it."
Just slap.
Constantine and Dorina taking notes.
yep. Nobody sets traps like a kobold, guys.
Almanya, with the natural 20, you kind of remember that blade that came slicing up from the street, and you just kind of have everybody step over the pressure trap. You guys wind up in the room. You're kind of on this. You're on the first floor of this 3-story building. It's gutted. It's ruined. Previous dwelling of some sort. And you kind of move. I don't remember where the tunnel was, but you like move aside whatever was blocking the tunnel, and you just kind of sit there and wait. About 15 minutes later, it's noon. About 5 minutes passes. What are you guys doing?
I'm knitting.
Wait.
I haven't had time to knit for so long. So
Do you still have
I'm
all of
taking-
your stuff?
I have 2 projects worth of yarn and my needles.
Did you get that before or after you guys got thrown in the chattel camp?
It was after.
It was after? Okay,
yeah.
cool. Vera is
I'm still
knitting.
working on the gloves for you, Almanya, that have
The fingers?
Yeah, the built-in loot picks.
Yeah.
So I'm working on those.
I'm using one of my nice birdie claws, and I'm holding up one of the bottles from Jeeves, and I'm clinking it. So the hole, you can hear just the clink of something on glass. Just like,
Here,
Presents.
kobold.
literally, just like casually clinking it to be like, hey, we're here.
Okay.
Hello.
As a fighter, as a battle master, I am a student of war, and I have proficiency with one artisan tool, my choice. So I'm gonna just with a knife. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna just start carving like little trinket things out of the fallen building. Just take like the driftwood and just make like little trinket toys while we're waiting.
I love it.
Okay, give me a craftsmanship check. D20 plus dex plus proficiency.
Nice.
At disadvantage. Ooh! 7.
7.
They're gorgeous. They're
Uh,
gorgeous.
Yeah, you have several misshapen lumps of basically whittling wood. Like you keep like starting, and it's like, all right, I've got the basic shape, time to actually carve some detail, and you end up like snapping the head off, and it's just like, cool, right?
Can
Starting
I be
again.
like saving the shavings
now
for
that's 2.
kindling?
You save the shavings for kindling.
Because wood is really rare at the moment.
Go ahead and mark that down on your sheet. So yeah, Durina, by the end, you end up with a few, like, yeah, that's recognizably a person. Mostly. Constantine.
I'm gonna go upstairs.
Okay, just kind of walking throughout the building.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go look around and see what's
Control.
Yeah, roll an investigation check.
As we're innocently sitting downstairs, you're like, what if we get attacked? Because it could get worse.
No.
It's not like it's the name of the
14.
campaign.
14?
Yep.
You find a few more scraps of, like, rags and clothing that could be turned into bandages or given to,
Eye patches.
or eye patches.
Double eye patches for some people.
So yeah, if you want to write down, like, a bundle of clothing. We're level 7, and it is worth writing down that you have found a bundle of clothing.
Yep. This is what you have reduced us to.
After about an hour, Shoji says, do you guys hear that?
Oh crap. I put away my knitting.
And as you all kind of listen, you hear the sounds of some kind of huge, like, horseshoed foot, like, slamming on the stone outside, like, gradually growing louder,
I
just
hide.
like, BAM!
I hide.
BAM! You go ahead and give me a hide check. So you kind of run up the stairs to hide on the second level, peering down.
13.
13? What'd you roll?
3. Don't ask me these sorts of questions.
Karina's gonna drop a
Karina's not
blessings
here.
of the trickster. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't bring her, did you? Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. No blessings of the trickster. Cool. Shoji's posting up. Damia is posting. Yeah, they're all getting ready. As the steps get closer, you start to also hear, like, I'm going to do this louder than you hear initially. This gradually grows, like, and where is it? And then you just kind of hear, whoops, what sounds like a dragon's roar. You have heard a sound like this before, at least Almania, Vera, Shoji, you guys have all heard the sound of a dragon before, and a loud kind of dragon growl kind of rumbles through everybody's bones.
Please tell me that the kobolds tamed a dragon, because
That-
I want that so bad.
It's delightful. Where have we heard a dragon before?
The ancient gold that attacked the Legion on the way to Vreem.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, how did we survive at level 7 in Ancient Gold? Oh yeah, we had the Legion.
Yeah, and also it was a little bit insane.
Yeah.
Is anybody doing anything in particular as this sound grows closer?
Are there windows on the second floor where I am?
On the second floor, yes.
Can I peek out a window and see it?
Yeah, you peek out a window.
That's what I was
Constantine, you're also up there. Okay, so you guys are peeking out of an upstairs window.
I'm like this because I'm tiny.
Everybody on the ground floor?
You
Does it
hold
look
me
like it's
by
about to
the
just
back of the
run?
shirt.
Hold on. Nick, go ahead.
Does it seem like it's about to just like run past the street?
As far as you know at the moment, it's just coming toward you guys.
So,
Okay.
can you up against a wall?
Okay, Almanya,
I'm
just kind of
gonna-
pressed against the wall. Dorino?
I'm gonna hide and I'm gonna find a spot so that if this thing comes charging through the door, I can throw my boar spear down and have it run into it like a boar spear. So
okay.
Nice.
So you're gonna set
Yeah.
that.
Can I ready an action?
Yeah, you can ready an action.
I'm gonna ready my light crossbow. Actually, load it and ready it. If it comes towards the door, I will shoot, or through the window. I'll shoot it through the window.
Okay.
It looks
So
aggressive.
whatever comes through here, you're gonna take a shot at it.
If it's
Okay.
aggressive.
yeah, and that's my react. That's my ready to action too, to like hop out and then place it so that it runs into it.
Okay.
If I need to.
Okay. Okay. You guys wait there as this huge-footed creature just kind of pounds closer and closer until kind of the frames of this building rattle a little bit. It stops right outside the door. And then the door just kind of explodes inward. Vera, go ahead and give me an attack roll. And Durina an attack roll as well, as a large shape just kind of breaks in through the doorway.
18.
18. Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, come on. 5.
5?
21.
21. Okay. The door smashes in, and a huge, kind of orange-ish scaled dragonborn just breaks in through the door. An arrow slams into it, and then Durina, you plant that boar spear, and as it kind of breaks through the door, you just impale it in the stomach. What was the damage?
5.
5, and then Durina damage. It's a D10.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna. Well, I meant to do it, so yeah, I'm gonna make it a precision strike.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add another one of my superiority die, which seems like a mistake, but I was gonna do it anyway, so I can't back off it.
Do it, Nick.
6 and 11 plus 2, 13.
13. Okay, so 13 plus, so 18 points of damage. Cool.
Josh, in
Between,
this split second, I recognize this dragonborn.
let me finish narrating this real quick.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What appears to be a dragonborn, as the arrow just kind of takes it in the eye and the boar spear jams straight into its stomach, just kind of curls over and falls to the ground, is actually just a very large, very well-muscled kobold. And as it just kind of
man, I'm
curls
Gebrecan.
around the spear and crumples to the ground, you see two other kobolds, each carrying like this big wooden pole, kind of trying to walk in past it, not expecting it to fall, trip over it, and the two poles are actually the front of a covered litter that falls to the ground as they kind of trip over. And a quite small kobold comes like tumbling and rolling out of the litter onto the ground in front of you guys.
Oh my gosh, did we accidentally kill one of his...
At first, this kobold appears to be like red scaled, but as you look closer, there's just been like blood or paint smeared rather haphazardly all over the scales. Now, you have never met Bird Bones.
We've never seen
I'm
him.
sorry, that's what I meant. You have never seen Bird Bones. However, he is wearing a pair of large tweezers that has been like soldered
Our
into
tweezers.
some kind of like scrap of metal and bent into a circlet, so it looks like he's got this big V
I love him
kind of out
so
of
much.
his head. He is wearing a bone awl on like a thong around his neck,
This is our man. I love him.
wielding a glass cutter like a scepter.
Vera, you had better have some great words of wisdom that I can say to this guy now that we killed someone.
Well, we've
His-
got lots of tribute for the new king.
His eyes are glowing this like bright orangish fiery red.
We fed him a potion.
And there are multicolored lights are glinting off various parts of his scales, and you can see little chunks of flail snail shell have been like sewed into a mesh shirt that he's basically wearing, like a fishnet shirt that has these little tiny bits of flail snail shell all around it.
Can I immediately drop my crossbow and like kneel, like prostrate?
Well, you can. You immediately do as the third kobold kind of pushes his way through the dead one, the two ones that kind of fell over, stands on top of the large kobold and says, "You stand in the presence of Bright Lord Firehands, immortal worm of the great city and Mossflower tribe, meat giver, wrecker of ghoul caves, whose eggs always hatch true. Grovel before the Bright Lord."
I'm already groveling. What was his name again? Firehands?
Yes, Bright Lord
Oh,
Firehands.
I'm so down.
Immediate kneel.
And I'm like motioning, like everybody hit the deck, hit the deck, hit
Clear
the deck.
emotions for everybody to grovel. Everybody except Damya, all of the NPCs except Damya do so.
Well, I just take my boar spear and just like push it out of the kobold with like my foot, just kind of pull it out, and then just look bewildered. Everyone.
Down.
Constantine?
I'm just gonna sigh.
That is the appropriate reaction.
Okay.
We're gonna butter this little dude up as much as he needs to give us some military support.
So this rather small kobold kind of starts trying to get up, distangling himself from kind of the loose mesh around him, making sure his circlet is fine, pops up to his feet and glares at you all before kind of motioning behind him, and kind of this standard-sized kobold walks down, stands next to him before this the presumably bird bones, kind of smacks him, and he takes one step back, so he's standing behind bird bones.
I like this show of authority. It's all performance. Authority is nothing but performance, and I appreciate it.
The Bright Lord has noted your insolence. Bow before him, lest he consume you in flames.
We gave him a potion of fire resistance, just to clarify for
Fire
you guys.
giant, I believe.
Or something like that.
We gave him, I think, 2 potions of fire resistance.
Yeah, so he must have set them all on fire and then not been burned, and now they think he's divine.
You're still standing. Your innocence has been noted.
I'm kneeling.
Oh, you are kneeling.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been kneeling the whole time.
Damya kind of looks at you all.
I just like raise an eyebrow at her. I'm just like,
Clearly,
Take her
you're
crossbow
fine.
and hide it behind me.
Let me know how it goes. And she kind of walks up the stairs to the next level.
I'll
twisting.
drop to a hesitant knee, but
Okay.
still have the boar spear out.
The Bright Lord's true subjects have been noted. What do you offer the Bright Lord?
Oh, I pull it to Jeeves, and in the jeweler's tools, I pull out like a very large, very nice, ornate magnifying glass.
ooh, so we can set fires with it.
At Jules very closely, and I hold it out and say, "For your excellency."
One of the litter bearers kind of distangles himself from the larger kobold, kind of scurries forward, grabs it, presents it to Bright Lord Firehands, who kind of looks up and away from it, but nods. This is acceptable.
Thank you.
What do
Bright
the rest
Lord
of you
Firehands.
bring as tribute?
Actually,
You
don't
said
know.
Bright Lord Firehands, right?
Correct.
Okay, Bright Lord Firehands.
I actually don't have whole.
To give him 300
so much.
gold pieces.
All right. You
Dang.
take out a bag of gold, kind of loosen it up, hand it to them. Roll a persuasion check. 7.
The light of your offerings shines dimly before the bright Lord.
They value other things.
That's all I have.
Trinkets.
And on top of it, I'm like, oh, wait. Here's some playing cards.
Ooh, playing
That's
cards.
intriguing. They might know about that.
That's 52 individual gifts, man. I don't know. You could
That's
really.
a good point, especially if they're pretty.
What is that?
These are the most fun things you will ever encounter. I can teach you a game to play with them. You can come up with your own games.
You come before the bright Lord with games?
Not just any games. Games that get you money.
And other delightful stuff because you bet with it.
Yeah.
And you win the game.
And then you could win.
Bright Lord Firehands kind of grabs him, drags him down. There's some fierce whispering.
You are saying it is a medium of exchange?
Yes. Exactly.
Go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage.
Oh man, I want to play one so bad. They're like Ferengi in Star Trek.
9.
9.
Can I assist him in some other way?
Curious. Do you wish to sell this one? This will cover your tribute.
To sell the person.
Yes, his gifts do not please the bright Lord.
I'm actually missing my full inventory list because that's on Fantasy
Oh, did I
Grounds.
forget to write it
But
in there?
it's all
Okay.
good.
Cool.
But I think I've got more random little tool things. I think I have an alchemy kit for some gosh darn reason.
You melted the lock on
I do have an alchemy
so you have an alchemy kit. You also have a thieves tools kit.
Which I'm not giving him. I can use that. So I can say, I apologize abjectly, your bright lordship, for my companion's dearth of gifts. He does not quite understand the deference that is due to a bright lord. May I offer these a great gift in recompense for his lack and for myself as well. And I offer him the full alchemy kit. Full of goodies.
Whoa.
I will hold back the acids. I will use those, but all the other stuff.
The bright Lord already has this grass.
Whack. Pulling him down.
Glass.
But look, not only glass, but also tools and chemicals.
One of the other kind of litter bearer kind of runs forward, scoops it all up.
Acceptable. But will not cover for your friend. He is large and tasty.
Does anyone else have offerings?
I have a statue. A weird bird carving. This is just off the top of my memory here.
A weird bird
Yeah, I have got like a statue that I found in one of our random things. And a glove with the initials IA on it.
I remember the glove. Okay, offering the statue. Give me a persuasion.
10.
10.
These will continue to raise you in the bright Lord's eyes, but your friend is still offensive. He was slow to show obeisance.
But,
Obeisance.
but negotiations are still open.
Of course. The bright Lord is merciless, merciful, sometimes.
Right, Lord Firehands. Perhaps I can appease you and your anger, as righteous as it may be. And I pull out all 16 bottles that I have of varying sizes and shapes, which I know are just like the greatest things ever, as Mary, who walks into a bottles where they're all of different shapes and sizes and colors, and I'm immediately like, I need to buy every single bottle I see here. I don't even have any, but I just need them.
I get
I am
it,
hoping
Mary. I totally get it.
It's like that same like feral gremlin like behavior in that I want all 16 of my empty bottles of different colors, shapes, sizes, and varieties. Some with like snap tops, some with corks, and just like show them all and display them all for bright Lord Firehands.
You may also roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
The steward, if you will, notes that, again, he's already got a bunch of glass, but if you pitch all of the different shapes and colors of glass and the different caps, what do you got for persuasion?
That's 22 for
22.
persuasion.
This is acceptable.
I go out, as you can clearly see from all of the different glass and craft work, there are so many different ways and things that you can put inside of them that will display them perfectly and proudly and allow you to have the most versatility and utility out of them. Look at this cork. Just look at it. Observe.
You know, after the campaign, Amanya, if you want to open a shop, I think you'd do quite well.
You don't have to wait until after.
Yes, we do.
I have rules for owning and running castles and shops.
After,
and
once the blood goddess is out of my city.
But I have like all these different bottles and I want to just see like the light in his eyes of must have all of the things to hold other things in.
Roll an insight check with this. Standard insight check. I was gonna say with disadvantage, but you used to be Dragonborn.
That is true. That's an 18.
18. Yeah, his eyes definitely gleam. Although all the steward says is,
Excellent! The Bright Lord is pleased with your offering. Who's next?
Sneak backward. Now it's spotlight.
So that they don't
slink
eat
to the
you.
back of the group, all of whom you're larger than, except for Shoji. Galena will simply take out, because she doesn't have much, the jar of brightly colored liquid that she bought from
the quack.
from the quack, and just kind of slide it forward.
Oh, we can hype that up. That's a potion of something.
Are you gonna tell him what it is?
Let me think. What's a plausible deniability lie?
Galena starts to say, I bought this from a shopkeeper in town. I don't know.
It increases one's sense of alertness and helps you keep awake, helps you get a little bit hyped off of it, is what it does.
I will test this.
I'm telling you, it's incredible. You'll feel the effects almost immediately.
The steward takes the bottle, kind of uncaps it, takes a small swig, and Vera, if you would just roll a d20 for me.
Is the placebo working? Is it 8?
An 8? Okay.
Hold on. I have prestidigitation.
Oh yes, do it, do something.
I never get to use prestidigitation.
This is gonna be great.
For me.
Put like the smell of coffee in his nose or something. Perk him up.
Yeah, I can create an instantaneous harmless sensory effect.
Perk him up.
Yeah, I'd like to like enhance the smell of like the mustiness of the room and like and that like a smell of like, I don't know, I'd say like old meat, but not like rotting meat, but like something that I feel like you can definitely smell as you're walking through the city, but just like make it a little bit stronger, like just a little bit.
Make the
Okay.
lights a little brighter. Yes.
Yeah.
So, let's have. I'll just roll persuasion for Galena with advantage. Oh, I was so close to a natural 20. Okay, so 14 plus whatever her thing is.
I don't think she is fabulous.
She is not fabulous.
She's
at
too darn
charisma.
honest. That's the
Oh.
problem with multiple people in this party. They're too honest.
So it comes up to a 16.
Oh.
He kind of turns and looks at the Fire Lord.
Yes, I can feel it working. Yes. I hear everything now.
and the Bright Lord looks quite pleased.
Excellent.
All right.
Good tag
so,
team there, Amani.
Galena,
I
Vera,
think I have the right spell.
Almanya. Dorino, what you got?
I will stand and humbly put my foot back on the kobold and slide it to him. And say, "Well, I offer you the selfless act of giving you back one of your selfish servants who wished to, in his own way, be larger than you, and he was embarrassing you by his failure to knock down this wall. I give you a true servant who will give you back his body, and his selfishness was holding that back for you. A great meal and blood to adorn your scales and give you even more teeth and large of life. I offer you this that your selfish servant would not give. I took it, and I am giving it to you."
Nick, I love you. Oh my god.
And he can eat it too. This is great.
Dorina, you can give me a persuasion check using either intelligence or charisma.
Ooh, that's 0.
Oh.
Wisdom.
Oh, that is a natural 20 and a 6, so that's a 6.
Oh.
No.
It's tough when you have disadvantage and you roll a natural 20 and you're
I
like,
know,
it really
it's so
can only go down from here.
This one's flesh already belonged to the Bright Lord.
Which
Clever
was withholding
trick.
it from you.
But the Bright Lord does not appreciate the deception. None could rival the Bright Lord. Your suggestions are an offense.
Can I sleight of hand? Can I have come down the stairs and be standing with everybody?
Sure.
Can I sleight of hand him some other pieces of kits and stuff that we've got?
Yeah, give me a stealth check and then a sleight of hand check.
Cool.
Actually, we're just gonna run with your normal, your first stealth check, so it was a 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
My sleight of hand is not as fabulous as it should be. We shall see. 15.
Okay. You kind of hide behind Shoji and slip into his hand. What do you slip into her? I'm sorry, her hand. What do you slip into her hand?
Like some of the little tools from other kits that we have.
Okay.
I can.
Okay.
I know those were attracted before.
You speak of a mockery of the Fire Lord's name, but if this acolyte of yours would have failed and died and been slain so easily, would you want his name to be attributed to the Fire Hands? I have taken away a weak link so that your name might be more glorious and bright.
So along with offering the tools that Vera has given you and the amending argument, we'll call that a straight, like you're even. It's not gonna contribute to the overall skill challenge here, but also he's not demanding that you be sold to them as meat.
Oh, fair enough.
Good.
Which leaves Shoji, and Damia went upstairs.
What does Shoji have? I don't know.
I don't know. What is she carrying? Character sheet.
I've got all sorts of random crap.
Shoji.
I mean, I have stuff that I can give her. I have like
Yeah, 'cause I
carabiner
can do, likewise.
and
Yeah.
more glass blowing pieces and
I mean,
stuff
I
like that.
even have like weird extra daggers and stuff if she wants to give him a weapon.
Okay. Shoji pulls out a small bag and spills it on the floor. And the steward goes,
Nails? Nails can be.
and Shoji says, actually, these are teeth from a creature with bones of iron that I harvested myself deep in the forests of the Woad.
Because of course Beth did it.
Because she did.
Because that's why we love her.
But they look like nails.
I also have, and she pulls out a small, I guess, an emptied health potion bottle that has then been filled with a kind of pinkish, like a muddy pinkish liquid. And she kind of pops the cork off and drops a drip on the kobold, the large dead one, which there's nothing, and then it just kind of starts to tremble, and then to actually just like thrash around.
That's freaking horrifying. What the heck is that?
That is the vial of Ragipede venom that she has.
That's good.
That is coursing violently through what remains of her the kobold circulatory and nervous systems.
That's awful.
She says, "Yes, feed or inject this into anyone, and they will become an unstoppable warrior."
Oh, come on. It's gotta be a man.
This
That's
one's gonna
awesome.
do it, yeah.
You know what's funny is I was gonna sell those wood things as teeth from a wood monster, and I couldn't figure out a good way to do that. So it's just funny that you just did that. And I was like, just giving him the big meat boy would be better, but I don't know.
Okay, that will not quite succeed, but it's not a total failure either. So overall, you guys have 3 successes, 1 fails, and 2.
Issues. If we do need to like push it over the edge for their allegiance, I'm holding back that potion of fire giant strength because that would be awesome for a kobold. I'm not gonna give it to him, but if it's on the edge.
The Fire Lord finds your offerings acceptable, not great,
Looks again at Constantine.
Looks away.
but you may keep your meat sack.
Oh, good.
Now,
I think that's you. Just to clarify.
Take it as a compliment.
The Fire Lord, kind of during this time, looking off and up, occasionally glancing down at the things you offer, again off and up, not speaking.
now, you have another offering of a ton of food.
Oh yeah, we did offer that, didn't we?
Explain your plan.
Well, actually, we have been quite successful today in providing the set of food. But to be perfectly honest, the food in question is mostly, as we explained to the great Lord Firehands in our exchange earlier, is mostly contained in the council district, which we plan to overtake and conquer.
Yes, but your plan for doing so, it is quite high. The stone upon which it rests is quite difficult to cut.
Indeed it is.
How will you get the fanatical warriors of the Bright Lord into the district?
An excellent question. Because you see, we tend to attack above ground, and we plan to storm the district above the ground. However, with your help You say that the stone is very difficult to cut into. Is it impossible?
It would take quite some time.
How long would you think?
Too long, you would all be dead.
Ah, so say not, it wouldn't take 3 days or less.
It would take generations of effort.
Ah, never mind. Well then, we plan to get you into the council district the same way we plan to get in. Storm the walls above the ground, release you into the council district to work your magic with the traps that we know that you can.
You want the warriors of the Bright Lord to set traps within the council district.
Indeed. Or even within the city itself, because I strongly suspect that if we storm the council district, or we lure those within the council district out, they will certainly come into the rest of the city, and I would personally love to have the rest of the city rigged in some way, shape, or form.
It is not lots of time to cover a whole city with traps.
Yes, perhaps find a certain passageway or funnel we could try and lure the people in the council district to go down a certain path of our choosing, which would be appropriately rigged.
This we can do.
Because I'm quite certain that those that are enemies are fully aware that their greatest enemies, namely us, are concentrated in a very particular spot in Slacks. And especially when they hear that even more people will be gathering in that area, that's where they will go to. So if we can rig all of the area leading from the council district to our compound in Slacks, we at least have a good chance of getting some of them. I'm imagining a sort of Parthian thing here, where we attack them, retreat to the Slacks, and then rig it.
Interesting. Okay.
Essentially lure them to our home ground. Because they've got all sorts of weird magic crap, like the mist and whatever. I do not want to fight them in the council district, is what I'm telling. That's what I'm saying.
And why would they pursue you all the way through the city?
Well, frankly, they know we're a threat. And we will make it extremely clear to them that we are a threat in our initial assault. They also know, or certainly my lord, Samvalhain, knows several of us in this room personally, and knows that we have sent him certain communications, threatening his entire life and existence. And I rather think that his world would be a much safer place with us gone. So I'm hoping there's a personal element as well.
Roll a perception check. I'm sorry, persuasion is what I meant to say.
Not as good. Still an 11.
An 11?
This plan will not work without bait.
Agreed. Intriguing. Something that will take them thoroughly out of the council district. Anybody have any suggestions, actually? I know that we've had...
Mary, could you roll a d20 for me, please?
I forget. Has...
15?
Okay, and then another?
I want to know what these are for.
Another 15.
Okay.
Has Karina, by the way, did she actually, like, declare herself an enemy?
Karina and who was it who made the deal? Karina and Shoji?
Yeah.
Um,
And they broke their deal.
yeah, the deal is known to have been broken.
Because I'm wondering, do we have something that they want, is the question. We've got people that they want to get rid of, and that's basically the bait. Because we'll be a thorn in their sides if they don't get rid of us. But I'm intrigued by this idea also of like the Death Watch relics and all that sort of crap too. And I'm tempted to lie and try and get as much information as we can about stuff like the source. Because clearly he's interested because he has all the books. and like lie and say that we found it and we have all the information that he wants, and lure him out that way.
Okay.
Yes. So I can say that.
You're explaining all of that to the kobold?
Yeah. In fact, I'll mention the source to him and say, like, we've heard of this thing and we know that they're very interested in it. So we could certainly deceive them into thinking that we know more about it than we do. Or certainly more than them.
Does anybody want to contribute to this? This will be our last persuasion check here.
Almania, back me up. You've got awesome persuasion.
Vera is leading, but other people can add to it.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't know about anything she's talking about.
The
So
lore is hard here. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, see, the people inside the council district already fear us, which is why they've taken such great precautions to keep us outside. And with you added to our forces, I mean, they're just going to be absolutely terrified, and they can't fight past that. And we've already made our way into the council district a few times by ourselves, so I don't think it's going to be too terribly hard to get back in.
Ooh, I have a thought. I know it's still me.
Okay.
But this is actually just reminding me. Remind me that the first time we ever heard of Sambalhain, it was boxes of dirt.
No, the first time you ever heard of Samvilhain was Session 0. Well, not Session 0, but the first time we were actually here, and you heard a list of rumors.
Right.
One of those rumors was
He was
right,
like an eligible
there's a
bachelor,
cleric
yes.
in the Empire that could raise the dead, and
The second time.
the
Sambalhain.
new young handsome counselor is single.
Right. But then I found his symbol on those weird boxes of dirt in that weird building we broke into.
Yes. Your first actual contact with him was
He called us.
him having you guys for a dinner and a party because you had pitched it as rescuing kind of his goods in his warehouse.
Right. Which was boxes of dirt.
Which, as far as you guys could tell, I think you only cracked open one of them, but it was a big
was
box
dirt.
of dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That was super. Now that I've been thinking, I was rereading my notes. That's super Dracula-like. Like that you need your home dirt for something, especially when they're up to all sorts of blood crap.
Yep.
So another thing that we could say is that we intercepted some of that or something. Like we know where it is. It's clearly something that was important to him.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that.
So you're convincing the kobolds that you have bait
Yes.
by
that
saying
we have
that
this,
you could burn down.
or that like we know where his warehouses are, where he
Mhm.
has goods that we know are important to him, because that's how we first had our relationship with him.
Okay.
Was that we claimed to have been protecting his physical interests here.
Okay.
So we have
Truth.
no idea where it is and what it is.
I mean, and also the people of that district are more like our larger friend here. So enamored with small, paltry things above your sensibilities, sir. Like these playing cards, ridiculous. You could bait them with anything. They're
Poor
stupid
Constantine.
from you.
Poor Constantine. Okay.
My play being saying that people are stupid and we don't need a lot of bait. It's easy to bait them. That was all that was.
Vera, you may roll a final persuasion check.
Believe in you.
You can take advantage, and Almania, if you would roll a separate one.
Thank you, because yours is better. Oh, money, big money.
Wait,
Yeah.
Oh, it was big money. 21.
19?
19. So Vera, you can add 4.
25.
So 25? Okay. And do you want them to basically create a lane of traps and obstructions between
the council district and the slacks.
And our compound and the slacks.
Okay.
And if they are willing to join the actual strike force, if they have soldiers that they're willing to give. I know it's not how they operate.
So are you is the
Grace.
plan? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just said, great. I don't know if you'd want to make a lane of traps, because if you start down a street and it's all booby trapped, you're gonna go down a different street. So like, maybe we,
True.
yeah.
Be more subtle
or-
than that. And I think the kobolds are pretty subtle about that. Where if you know the general direction the enemy will go, and they're fairly familiar with their territory, essentially, like, how would you kobolds, if you know the general place someone is trying to get, booby trap the route to that place?
Or have like a trap further down the way
Yeah.
that blocks them from going backwards, so they have to walk through the lane. But like,
Right.
more than anything, yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna
Be
walk
clever
through
about
a
it.
kobold lane, I'm not gonna go, oh shit, this is the only street I can go down. So
Yes. Or even, use the traps to funnel them in exactly the direction that we want. In other words, they see a kobold trap, they're going to turn this way.
Okay.
yeah,
So-
that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
force
yeah.
them a certain way, and then have a big trap later or something. But like,
Yeah, or have, frankly, just an ambush. As in, we only
Yeah.
send a strike force to try and lure them out, and then the army, so to speak, is there at the end being funneled in by the kobolds to a choke
I-
point.
Okay, so
I want-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
District, and then they can like secretly build like a million traps inside of the council district.
That's so tempting.
They
But-
try and come out, and it just their whole land just basically does all the work for us.
That's intriguing that, like, we lure some of them out and they come after us and we have a showdown, but then while they're doing that, the kobolds sneak around the back and go into the council district and booby trap the crap out of it and raid it and get all the food that they want.
Right?
Blah, 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 while the main force is distracted.
So there's a lot of plans on the table. I
Yes.
need to know which one that you are pitching to the kobolds.
So, should we pitch that they help us funnel people from council district, we lure them out to the slacks? But then the second piece is, when that happens, you guys, this is actually, I would frame it as a cherry on top. You guys then go around the back, go straight to the council district and take what you want.
Okay, so you're proposing two groups of kobolds, one to trap the area just kind of around the Mayweather district to funnel people, to funnel an attacking force
Yes,
to
or-
strategically
Yes, all the way back.
advantage
And
places.
start now,
Yeah,
as in
I
that's
agree with
not
that
an on
one.
the day
So
thing.
they've got 3 or 4
But
days.
then on the day,
And then on the day,
sneak around,
they will
raid.
they join your raid, and you guys like
no, they're their own thing. Because
they're their own thing.
Because we might
they're the
send-
underground pincer.
Yeah.
Like,
Or like,
they'll
I
just
mean,
hit from somewhere else.
That's the problem, is that the stone acropolis upon which the council district sits
Right,
is stone.
they can't
different from
burrow,
the rest.
but
They
they,
can't
will be able
burrow
to
in.
walk in. If we've like lured the guards off and they're following us, as in we send a small group in to be like, come after us, blah blah blah, and then a whole bunch of them from the council district start following us down the trapped thing and maybe run into our main force in the slacks.
So
So
you
we,
guys
like,
are gonna run a
cleared
distraction.
Exactly.
And then the
Cleared
kobolds
some, and then
slip
they can
in.
go in and do whatever they
Okay.
want.
Are you giving them? I mean, they need a target. They need to know where the ton of food is.
When we were there, I cased the entire area when I was there with Samblehane.
The whole council district.
I cased his whole compound.
Okay, so you're specifically directing them at
Samplehane's
Samblehayne's
compound,
estate.
and I know where his warehouses were and where his freaking gardens were, where he had all of his crap.
Okay,
I know exactly where there is food.
so
Like,
so
go
are
in
you
there
directing
and
him
mess
to?
up Samblehayne's compound.
You're directing them to his estate and to his warehouses, or just to his estate?
To both. And say, like, the food that you want is in the warehouses, but if you can just trap the heck out of his estate, make his life miserable, or anybody who tries to go then, maybe we're defeated. Maybe our entire army is defeated and every council district person has to go back to the council district. They go back home and find it full of traps. And destroyed, is what I'm saying.
I think it would be smarter to tell the kobolds to just get food from
Yeah.
any of these rich ass houses,
That's
because
true. Like,
Because Sam
going
Hane's guys
wrong.
are gonna bonus action lightning bolt and kill all these motherfuckers in like
That's
3 hits, and just.
See, I'm hoping that Sam Hain, or at least some of the more powerful people, will like just come out and be like, let's just defeat this stupid little revolutionary army once and for all and leave. But yeah, I would say to the kobolds,
Yeah.
like, just go to the council district. I know specifically where food is, but if you see other stuff you want, take it.
Okay.
I would tell them to avoid Sam Hane's district specifically because they're just gonna get smoked. Like, go find the rich people and raid their kitchen. Don't try and hit the warehouse. That's gonna be protected.
Or at least, like, we can explain, like, lay that all out on the table. Like, this is your choice. Like, you are an independent actor here. Like, Sam Hain is a, like, layout. This is dangerous. Like, Sam Hain is a bad dude. But we know he's got the stuff, and I can give him the full layout of his area, but be like, you gotta be careful if you go that direction.
Okay. So
There's
basically,
a lot of other people to steal from.
okay. So you're laying out just kind of the whole area.
Yeah.
If you, there's
choice.
easy food here and there's hard food over there.
Yes.
Take your choice.
Take your choice. But
Yeah,
along
there
the
we go.
way,
I agree with
just trap everything
Okay.
and mess up as much as you can.
Okay. So the party will distract and create an opening. Kobolds will
Yes.
go in
Go
and
in.
just kind of do their thing,
Do their thing.
and
Yeah.
then you guys are on your own.
And then, yeah, and
Okay.
then they, hopefully, again, the idea is we're kind of splitting into, I guess, 3 groups, if possible.
Okay.
Because we'll have a strike force that lures the council district people out.
Is that you guys or the kobolds?
No, us guys. Somebody
okay, so
else
you guys
part
are the
of the
strike
main
force.
army.
Okay.
Yes, we'll have a strike force, probably bigger than us, actually, more people to look like more of a threat,
Okay.
and lure them out, but then have the main army, so to speak, if we have people,
Okay.
is in the slacks. Lure them down the trapped alleyway. We have some big showdown in our own home territory where we know what we're doing. And while that is happening, the kobolds go back and mess around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in the intervening days between now and then,
They set the
they set up a bunch of traps.
yes.
Okay. Cool. So
And all of that
after-
was said in a southern accent.
So after about an hour or 2 of discussion and negotiation and gift giving and making them understand, as you kind of try and like sketch out a map, the kobolds do not seem able to like imagine the map. Like you scratch stuff in the dirt and they look at you like you're insane. Like, what are you doing? As you kind of describe what you're talking about, the plan takes hold, and the gears kind of start working. And after a couple hours,
The Bright Lord finds the plan acceptable, with one caveat.
Yes.
Should we fail to acquire the full amount of food, you will provide it.
Well, it's a new thing for me, but I have started to try to not make promises I can't keep.
Shoji whispers in your ear, if they fail,
You're right.
we also probably fail.
Absolutely.
And we're all dead anyway.
I'm gonna.
Absolutely.
Dorena gets really upset and backhands that kobold and says, "You think that the Bright Lord would fail? How dare you!"
Yes. There is no failure. Failure is not an option.
Roll intimidation with advantage.
Oh my
So
god.
so actually a straight roll because you have disadvantage.
Nick. Good god.
23.
23.
So much win.
You backhand the kobold who like spins around,
He's tiny.
face slams into one of the posts of the litter, and like falls heaped on the floor. And Bright Lord Birdbones takes his glass cutter scepter, looks down at him with disdain, and starts beating him, and just like screeching in anger.
What have you done to this poor girl?
So when the steward eventually kind of stands, like uncurls, stands up, like lacerations in the scales everywhere, just like dribbling blood here and there.
Of course, I misinterpreted the wishes of the Bright Lord. We cannot possibly fail under his divine leadership.
Golf clap.
Excellent. I love everything.
Thank you for saving me from making a lie, which Fred has been working on. Not being such a piece of
It's
crap.
not so much a lie as much as, well, I mean,
promise
if
I
it
can't
comes
keep.
to that situation, I'll be dead. So,
True.
yeah.
Hey, I got hit with the Bright Lord's perfect. What you said is wrong. I just hit him right back with it.
All right. The two kind of litter bearers, and you can see just outside the door there are two other litter bearers that have been holding up the back end of this litter the whole time, and they're starting, like, legs starting to shake, starting to have trouble standing. The Bright Lord turns on his heel, walks right over the dead kobold, looks down at it, walks back into the litter. The two litter bearers kind of lift up their end. They back slowly out, slamming into the doorpost as they go. "Arr! Arr!" They manage to kind of extract the litter, at which point something is called into the room in Draconic, which Vera and Almania understand as,
Bring the dead one!
and the only person left in the room is the steward, who kind of looks down at this kobold 3 or 4 times his size, walks out the door, and just kind of slowly starts trying to drag the kobold, at which point he kind of stops, looks at you all, looks outside, and you hear like this huge pounding noise now heading away. And you watch as he kind of looks out. The pounding must be in like a different alley, or it's passed down a street.
To seal the pact, Bright Lord Birdbones donates this beast's flesh to you.
And kind of turns and scurries off.
And we need that food.
I know. I like a man with initiative.
Karina reports from upstairs. Karina's not here. I'm sorry.
Damia.
Damia reports from upstairs that the loud pounding noise was another large kobold basically taking a like flagstone, like a 3 or 4 foot by 3 or 4 foot flagstone, and just like flipping it over, like end over end as they approach.
Please tell me this interaction has earned Grace her heart's desire.
After the operation, kobolds will be a playable.
Done. You mean after the operation when we all die and have a TPK? Grace's
Well,
next character.
So I'm
could
trying
be
to
a
figure out, like, at
kobold.
this point, if the party dies, like, the blood goddess just, like, takes over the world, like, what happens? What I've decided is that if there's a TPK, you guys will become the last 5 to 8 kobolds in Onishire.
Yes.
And we'll just go from there.
Done.
Oh,
I am
that'd be
delighted.
awesome.
I am so down. Post-apocalyptic style.
Yep. Oh
Yes.
yeah. Nope. We'll pull out the artificer class and
I'm
go
down
full
for it.
Mad Max on this world.
I'm ready.
Hell yeah.
All right. I'm writing that down.
That actually could be a great one shot, by the way.
Kobold Mad Max. Done taking that. It's mine now. Okay. You have secured an alliance with the kobolds. They will trap the area around the Mayweather district, and they will take advantage of any opening that you make in the council district on the 3rd of Resistance Month, which is in 3 days.
3 days. It's great. Well, I have one more thing on my to-do list, which is to go with Withlow to try and find the last of the Death Watch, if
Okay.
people are down. But as we go, I would say more foraging. I mean, as we travel the city, that's just going to start to become a default.
Well,
Okay.
we have about I don't know, what's this, like a 50 pounds of kobolds?
That's true.
More like 45.
That's
You
a
said it looked like a dragonborn. If we
It's a-
thought it
Oh,
was
that's
a
true. It's about the size of a
dragonborn.
dragonborn.
amount
I'm
of
sorry.
kobold meat.
Yeah,
So that's like 100 pounds
40
of a cobalt.
Why am I
40
considering this?
45 is
I
about
want
the
to be
normal
one.
kobold.
Why am I considering eating one?
Put it in the sack.
Constantine's got no
Dorena
problem.
is absolutely not even blinking at that.
I'm like,
She's eating that
I'm
cobalt
not
raw.
comfortable with eating like sentient something.
You guys don't know what Dorena went through in those pits or what she was
Yeah,
doing and eating.
yeah.
Like, that's not even.
Yeah, Vera's eaten some weird things, but this is not bothering Vera. This is bothering Grace.
Yeah, I would actually say it's about 160 pounds.
Holy crap!
Yeah, that's Dorena's #1 priority is getting that meat back to the crew.
Well,
Yeah,
we gotta
back
go
all the-
back
the-
anyway to pick up Withlow. So,
You have 150 pounds of room in the bag of holding.
oh dear. Amanya Deary.
Yeah.
Can I like carry some of this? I can't say it. Snail shell for you.
Snail.
Like 10 pounds worth I could carry.
Well, the pieces.
Pieces
You've
is
got
the
4
problem.
pieces that together weigh 150
Oh
pounds.
lord. Can we like lop off a leg or something off this kobold and carry the leg separately?
Vera pulls out Old Faithful and begins sawing at the thing's thigh. Eventually, Constantine, you're needed to just like
I'm
take
very
your
small.
warhammer and snap
I'm
the
very
thigh
old.
bone. But eventually, you guys dismember this kobold into pieces small enough to fit into the bag of holding, and then somebody's carrying a kobold leg.
Problem solved. Let's go back.
Somebody roll a d12.
I will.
I eschew all
Alright, Mary, roll a
responsibility from
D12.
here on out.
3.
I'm gonna
3. Okay.
I'm gonna carry the head just so I have the jawbone as an extra weapon, and just like as a, like literally just walking around,
Samson.
like
Okay.
pull with one and just holding the head.
It's also intimidating. I like it.
Yeah.
You journey uneventfully back to your tenement building in the slacks. Pick up Weeflow. Constantine, are you doing something? Okay.
What time is it? Day wise. That was
mid-late afternoon.
Okay. So we'll keep an eye on the sun and be back before nightfall because that's a problem.
Yeah, it's about a 40-minute walk to there. Would you guys like to attempt the place in Riston Point or the one in the docks?
Which is closer?
The docks is also the more dangerous route.
Do we have fish nets?
Huh, that's a good point.
You do not have any on hand.
Can find some down there. Though I know that people have been trying to fish for a while since the city's been closed.
They did for a while until the docks became too dangerous.
Alright. So what is making them dangerous that we've heard of? Is it ghoul problems? Is it
You have not heard anything more specific than just kind of the things that keep coming out of the sewers, the ghouls. Between those, enough people have gone missing that people have just stopped trying.
right?
Do I have any idea as a member of the guard?
That's a good point.
As a member of the guard, I mean, you retired decades ago, so you're not quite sure.
Okay, sure. It's worth a shot.
Yeah. The guard is also in charge of the walls, not so much what happens within the city.
Cool. Another thing is I might have to go back to the docks if I can get a message out to Theodosia. I might have to come back to the docks anyway, probably tomorrow, to give time for the Freemans to come and meet me. So if we want to do Riston Point today and then maybe try docks tomorrow, we could kill 2 birds, 1 stone. So if you guys are cool with traveling further but maybe safer, we could do Riston Point.
Okay.
Also, shout out to my old Latin teacher whose name was Riston, so love you.
Okay.
There is a literally 0% chance that he will ever see this stream. But all the same, still love it.
Okay. I would
just love it so much if we got like a message on the like stream that was just like,
He is literally in Chicago.
well, I was on Twitch and I saw you
Not
and I
good
started
news.
watching and what? Be great. All right, party will distract, kobold attack, trap the surrounding. Good. Okay, so you pick up WeFlow and head to Riston Point. Somebody else give me a D12 roll.
Yoshi, go for it.
7.
7. It is late afternoon. Okay. So you make it to the Riston Point. There we go. Not the something district. Riston Point. Neighborhood quite similar to the Cataract District that several of you,
That's nice.
you lived in. Yeah, this one is more lower middle class than yours, which is kind of towards the high end. It is significantly better patrolled and guarded than even the Slacks.
Slice is the slums.
Right, it's the slums, and Benji and Gideon have basically taken everybody that they care about or is beholden to them and said, cool, this is our area, everybody outside of it, you're on your own. I mean, there are 20 plus thousand people living in the Slacks. Right. Some patrols, they give you some looks. They take a look at the large, human dragonborn-sized scaled leg that Constantine is hauling around over his shoulder, and give you a wide berth.
City watchwoman as well. Do any of them recognize Dorina?
When she's not exerting her authority and she's not in uniform, she's an old woman wearing a set of chainmail carrying a spear.
Okay, so they don't recognize her face.
No, and again, Dorina is from the guard, so
Yes.
declaring herself, yeah, people would know the name, but just on site, probably not. Also,
I've got medals.
Most of the group, not on you. Most of the group, most of the patrols are almost entirely civilian.
Okay, I was about to say, they're not
As
city
you
guard.
guys learned, both from overhearing the one conversation in the council district and from the 2 patrols that you guys accosted the previous evening, there was a call for all watchmen to retreat to the council district. The only ones who refused were those who had family down here.
And that's going to be intriguing if we do get attacked by the council district guard, because we're going to have some guardsmen who might know them. Be like, what you doing, man?
I don't know.
Just a thought.
You eventually reach. So they give you a wide berth. You guys eventually reach WeFlow, just kind of asking you to describe what you're seeing. She describes kind of which way to go, and eventually you get to the bottom of this small street that winds its way up a little bit of a hill, and at the top of it is a rundown, mostly destroyed house. It looks like it was once quite nice. Not nearly the size or the fanciness of the councilors' estates that you guys have seen, but single house, right? One door right in front, like a mortared stone front porch area, grass that has overrun into weeds, small trees and bushes that have just grown up in the yards. There's an old fence that has fallen and rotted in most places. Single house, 2 stories, windows to the right and left on both sides. A very tidy, well, not tidy, a once nice house that is now broken and destroyed. The wood porch over the front, kind of the ceiling, is bent in and collapsed in places. Most of the tiles are missing from the roof. There's holes in it.
Vera and Almania, if you guys would give me history checks. Who else is... Nobody else is native? Okay.
12.
12? Almania?
I have proficiency in history.
Oh, I'm sorry,
She's
Durana.
native.
You are, you are native. Go ahead and give me a history check as well. Almania?
Oh my! That is the second natural 20 I had on a disadvantage check. Oh,
What's the second one?
6. So 9.
6. Okay. Vera, all you know is that this small kind of hill is the point. You're in Riston Point. This is Riston Point.
Can I ask Withlow the significance of a location?
We've haunted it for years. As far as I know, it's been abandoned since the fall of the Immortal King in Onishire, and we have haunted it ever since.
The Immortal King fell in Onishire?
Yeah, his first incarnation was in Onishire.
Oh, didn't know that.
Well, Weeflow tells you that now.
Interesting word choice that Withlow of haunted for the Death Watch.
Well, it keeps people out. She also tells you, she mentions in what she says, the Immortal King, it was abandoned then, and then it was taken over by the Death Watch after, why am I forgetting his name? I've literally written scripture.
Hashtag world builder problems.
Sorry. Until he was defeated by Edom the Witchlight.
And remind me, this is also Grace being stupid and forgetting things like Striathy, which I've heard for the past 3 years. So the Immortal King, is that the same as the association with the Lich Wars, etc., etc.?
Oh, absolutely.
He's
Yes.
the Lich King.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of.
Sorry, lore time, everybody.
That's alright. Last episode was pretty much entirely, oh my god, please let me eat my eyeballs, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Lich Wars actually covers a span of several hundred years. Mostly because liches have this habit of being destroyed and just kind of coming back again. The Immortal King was the most powerful and the most threatening and came back, I think, 6 times before he was finally put down. And has not been seen or heard of since.
And he was defeated by, what was that name again?
So that his first rise in Onishire, he was thrown down by Edom, Edoem, the Witchlight.
Because that could be some super fun propaganda opportunities. Like, we've got the second Lich King here. Like, we've got...
Oh, anti-propaganda, like against... I was like,
Yeah.
no, you don't want to claim that.
No, not pro. I'm
What
saying
are you
we're the
doing?
Witchlights here. Like, we've got another Lich crap on our hands. The
You
Immortal
would
Queen
know.
is here.
You would know as a native of Onishire history, right? No matter the history check, all 3 of you would, Durina, Almania, and Vera. Claiming association with the Death Watch is not a great
They're not very popular.
thing for you. No, they are needed, but also unpopular.
Right. So,
Feared and
right.
yeah.
So Edom is not like a local hero or anything for having done that.
No. In fact, you've never heard the name before.
Intriguing. But clearly is a hero to the Death Watch themselves.
Weeflow, what's your passive insight? Is like 14 or 15.
Yeah, it's 15.
The cadence of Weeflow's voice, I should say the tone of Weeflow's voice is similar to what you've heard from Damya and Callista, kind of that same devotion.
but the cadence of it is odd.
Can I ask her, like, you seem distressed, or is it hard to talk about this?
I should not say more until I am given leave. Edom is a controversial saint.
Listen, we're all gonna have leave in about 4 days. I think we need to be a little more explicit with what we're talking about.
She does have a bit of a point. Formalities are falling away, so to speak.
Let me see if I can find any of my order on the hill, and perhaps they can tell you more.
Fair enough.
If you would point me in the right direction, please.
All right, you'll start to feel the land going upwards in a moment or two as we go up.
No, I mean literally point me in that direction.
Yes, I point her like you'll start to feel like the stress on your calves as we go upwards.
Yeah, you guys kind of, and she tells you all to stay out of sight.
Okay, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, so you guys all kind of hide off to the side as she heads up the hill. She goes limping up the hill, and once she actually gets to the incline, her course, which was just kind of wavering a little bit, becomes quite steady. She goes all the way up to the door. She takes some weird steps and detours, and Vera, you definitely recognize somebody who is avoiding traps. Most likely.
Respect for her doing that blind.
I mean, she's.
I shouldn't have said that.
So she disappears inside. She opens the door and disappears
Not
inside.
remind me of
She
certain things.
vanishes, and is gone for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What are you guys doing?
I'm starting to fade, Josh, so I'm going to pop off. 'Cause it's about 10 my time.
Okay.
But yeah, just so you know, I'll send you an updated copy of my character sheet as
Okay.
I've been updating it. But yeah, just wanted to say that.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
Bye, Mary.
We will see you next time.
Love you.
See ya, bye.
Bye.
Kids in my little tiny hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just watching, kind of leaning up and taking a break still. But do we see the house moving at all? Do we see any movement, anything of life as she kind of walks in?
Go ahead and roll a perception check from Durina, Constantine.
I think I'm gonna dismember that leg that I've just been walking around with, so it's less noticeable that I've been walking around with basically a dinosaur.
Probably a good idea.
So are you saying that you are breaking it into smaller pieces and
butchering it.
sequestering it about your person?
Yes.
That's a very Constantine thing to do. I appreciate that.
Just gotta dream it around
Constantine
like Lady Gaga.
is tucking.
Meat suit. You know,
Well, I mean,
meat dress.
Constantine is basically tucking kobold steaks like into like the breastplate of his
Especially
armor.
if you got the leg here and you've cut it up like this, they are like little steaks. Just saying.
Okay.
I'm keeping a weather eye. If Durina's watching the house, can I like be facing the opposite direction, like have my crossbow out, be like watching the street and
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure we don't get
Durina's not watching the
snuck
house.
on, stuck up on?
I rolled a 6. That not watching the house.
Can I watch everything?
Durina, the house is not moving. Nor can you see anybody through the windows. I mean, there's no glass or anything in them. They're basically just gaping holes.
Right.
Yeah, you see nothing inside.
I'll still be watching
Perception
the
check
street.
for the street.
Yeah.
I'm looking out for dogs to make sure they will start chasing.
Because you smell so tasty
And all of the
now.
dogs have most likely been.
Oh man,
That's true.
rolling like crap, but still. Perception?
Yep.
15.
15. Okay. You notice a couple of people kind of headed towards your alley occasionally, like clutching something, kind of looking behind them, hurrying out, and you just kind of step out, catch their eye, crossbow in hand, and give them a look. Right? They head off in a different direction.
Yeah.
You're definitely noticed, but you keep anybody from kind of seeing the rest of you and seeing that there's a whole group of you tucked away.
As threatening as a tiny ancient halfling with a crossbow can be.
Okay.
Why are my dice cursed today?
Mine are mad because they haven't been theirs in so long.
Need to use the dice jail. It's a very useful thing.
As you guys wait, a voice suddenly comes from above that even with your passive perception, you did not hear anybody coming, and then suddenly a woman's voice calls down from the rooftops above. So Weeflo says that you're here to help. And you guys kind of all look up. Yep, Constantine, just as you tuck the last of the kobold stakes,
I,
like
like,
just kind
swing
of
across.
away. Kind of all faces
Like
turn
surreptitiously
up.
stuffing meat into your like breast pocket.
Pocket bacon.
Pocket bacon! Pocket kobold.
Yeah, I'll just stand up and present myself.
Yeah, I will too.
I
That's
mean,
exactly right.
so the person standing at the top of the roof is wearing what looks like plate mail, but it is kind of it does not shine. It's kind of a dark. It's not black, but it is a dark gray, almost like if you were to like you smoke a blade, hold it kind of over fire smoke to blacken the blade, except that it's kind of perfectly even. Something about the material itself does not reflect the glare of the sun or anything like that.
I like their aesthetic already.
She is not terribly tall. She is roughly your age, Durina. And she has like shoulder length blonde hair that is completely shaved on one side and then flipped over to the other. It is blonde, kind of gone to white with her age. And she is holding a massive crossbow pointed at you all down there. Across the plate is just a bandolier of potions and oils. What other distinctive features do we have here? Vera, you would notice. You notice a something hanging around the neck, and something about it, and the way it is worn, and the strangeness of the imagery that you can't quite make out from here. She wears it like Damia wears a holy symbol.
I mean, seeing the crossbow, still stepping out right into the street, standing.
She is on a roof looking down at you guys. She's got
Yeah, I know.
She's got a clear sight line on all of you.
Yeah.
Sure, and I'm just standing straight up into it, and rather than like we were like leaning on a tree or wall or somewhere, and just like standing up and just having the conversation, and like I'm right here. I know you see me.
I'll ship my crossbow too and be like full hands up. You're absolutely right. We are here to help, or perhaps ask for it.
So, you hungry?
Good lord. You're like dripping blood out of every pocket.
Are you?
Wipe yourself.
She, although her cheekbones are jutting out, and just from her face you can tell that she has not eaten much for quite a while. She looks at the corners of bloody kobold steak sticking out of just places.
God knows where on Constantine.
You know what? Constantine, go ahead and add 1 to your armor class against piercing attacks.
You're carrying so much steak, you've got like an inch of armor in
So if I hit you by 1, remember to ask me if it's piercing. And
Oh, that's good.
I mean, you do. You've got an extra an extra layer of
Flesh.
yeah.
Yup.
So
I'm feeling flesh.
Got thick
she
skin.
wrinkles her nose a little bit in disgust.
You see, we have recently gone on a bit of a foraging run. We are willing to share, if you would like to accept.
She's staring down at you guys in absolute silence. Her eyes flick briefly to the speaker as soon as they start, but otherwise is scanning, and then occasionally the horizon around her, back to you guys. Total silence.
Well, I can see that we could have a better conversation, maybe closer, where you don't have to worry about people intruding on it. We're here to help, here to talk, and hope you can help as well.
We're here to free
I'll
Onishire.
step forward. I'll step forward.
We're here to free Onishire because in 3 days now, we're done. You and all of us alike. Can I insight check her for a reaction to that? Like, does she already know that?
Sure, roll an insight check.
Sure, me too. Yeah.
Yep.
17.
17,
No, sorry, 18.
18,
17.
17. No reaction.
I like her.
I'm gonna keep walking forward.
Good poker face, I appreciate it. Yeah. Can I
We have a plan. We're gaining extra forces. It's looking better than nothing. And honestly, I'm not gonna say that.
Say it, say it. That's the non-existent God's honest truth.
That's looking a little bit more helpful than what you guys have been doing.
Have you heard with the story about what happened to her? And at least what we attempted to do.
Wow, you guys really do hold true to that. Silent as the grave.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm going to
Is-
definitely
is
shoot my
she-
crossbow, but start to climb up towards her.
Yeah, is she doing anything? I said I started walking forward. Did she do anything to me just walking up the way?
She is on a literal rooftop above you. So you're
Yeah,
standing at
I'm
the
walking
bottom.
up the house.
You're standing at the bottom. No, she's not on the house. You guys are not near the house. You're kind of at the bottom of a hill, tucked into some alleys. She is on top of one of the tenement buildings that you guys are hiding in the alley next to.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb
So
up towards her.
there's nowhere to walk towards her unless you begin climbing.
Yeah, and my climb speed is as good as my normal speed, so I can get up there pretty fast.
Oh damn. Okay. As you start to
I have
climb,
second story work.
as you start to climb, the crossbow shifts just straight to you. And she says, "What is that?" Eyes on Shoji.
This is our friend. As you can see, she an elf. And I'm gonna be straight up honest with this lady. She used to be an elf. She was killed in combat. And she returned as what you see before you with a mission.
As soon as you said returned,
Yeah, I know.
where is it?
And believe me, we have done every test that you can think of about something returned from the beyond.
She pulls the trigger and a crossbow chips a chunk out of Shoji.
Am I at the roof now? Like on her level? 'Cause I was moving pretty fast.
Done. So Shoji takes 19 points of piercing damage as a chunk flies off of her, and then in its place, she takes another 25, another 10 points of radiant damage. As kind of in its place, there's just a bright flash of not kind of golden radiance or even kind of that pale blue that you see when Damia casts magic, but just pure white flame that just kind of flashes real quick, and Shoji staggers back.
Am I at her level now?
You are almost there as she drops the crossbow to the side, pulls out a spear, bends down, pulls up a large spear that is now kind of in your face, preventing you from moving any further.
Mm-hmm.
That is not any undead that I have ever seen.
I agree, she's not undead.
What is she?
To be perfectly honest, she is nothing I have ever seen before. All I know is that she is my friend. And the soul that she was before is assuredly the soul that is here now. You see that you've hurt her and we are not hurting you because we understand your position.
Roll a persuasion check.
14.
14. She keeps the spear in your face.
We will do no violence against you, and I say that loudly so that the people below me can hear.
So you can't really hold up your hands. 'Cause
I know,
You're holding
yes.
on. But,
We'll do no violence against you. We will only want you to understand.
what's that? Looking at Almanya.
That's another friend. And I will be perfectly honest with you. She was once a dragonborn. She was killed in combat. And she is now, as you see her, raven folk. Which, according to another friend, has not been seen for many centuries. She was brought back by powerful magic, but she is not undead.
Shifting the spear to one hand and just putting one finger on the symbol around her neck. You see her, she mutters a few words, and just kind of her eyes flash white real quick, and she looks straight at you,
I tell you no
and
lies.
then carefully at kind of everybody down in the alley. Oh,
Is she doing a detect undead?
you're actually really lucky. And then steps back from the edge and kind of back along the back away from the edge, and you hear her kick something, and then a rope ladder just kind of all the way down to the bottom of the alley where the rest of you are. Vera, as you then kind of crest the top, she is about 15 feet away from you on the roof, having just finished. It's got one of those, I should have looked up what they were called, just one of those metal cranks that you would use to pull back an especially heavy crossbow. She's just kind of reloaded it.
Winch.
I'm sorry?
I think it's a winch. They would use.
Is it? Okay, yeah. And so she is just kind of standing there holding a loaded crossbow as you guys kind of climb up.
Yeah, I'll motion for everybody to climb up, and I'm still like whispering to everybody, like, do not attack, even if she attacks us. nothing about the undead.
Well, if there's any consolation, we brought up your friend. I spent weeks, months down in a pit with her. We're allies, friends. We saved her for something that was worse. But what's coming is gonna be horrible.
And what is it that you think is coming?
You've seen the red moons, and you've seen what's happened, correct? This is going to be the final red moon. That's the information that we have, where the blood goddess will exercise her full dominion over the city. It is the end.
Flo says that you have a plan to stop it.
We have a plan to fight back, certainly.
Why?
Because I'm not one to go into the dark without a fight.
Looks at you.
Are you asking why? Out of character. You're asking why?
Yeah.
Got nothing better to do.
That is such a Constantine answer.
If you didn't already have inspiration, I would give it to you.
Oh, I forgot about my inspiration.
Looks at you, Dorino.
Because I already came out of one hellhole. I didn't mean to trade it for another.
Nice one.
Looks at Almanya. Now I have to answer for player characters.
I think you should say something about, like, her whole mission is the fate of the entire world.
I'm writing a song, and it needs hope in it. And I thought I knew what that was until I came here and saw all of this. So, why? To learn. I don't know. That's my best Almanya answer.
It's a good old answer.
Looks at Shoji.
She's got a mission now.
Well, because the demons are here. And the literal purpose of my entire continued existence is to destroy them. That's fully honest. Galena.
Can I answer for her? I feel like I have an answer.
What do you think Galena would say?
Because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. I don't know Galena
She's so pure.
all too terribly well yet.
She's a moral, kind person. She's the only, like, plain old moral, kind person amongst us.
Well, at first, because my order has decided to let the rest of the world fend for itself, and I was not sure that I agreed. And now that conviction is strengthened, and because there are people in pain, and I can do something about it. Looking at Damia, I came to find my family, and they are gone. I am here to save others does not quite ring true. To understand my goddess also does not quite ring true. Both are partly true and neither. I cannot confidently tell you.
And of all of the answers given, continuing you got like a 19 and a 17 insight, something like that. There was distaste at Galena's, and approval at Damia's, as well as Durina's. This is good. You have suffered. I congratulate you. Weeflo said that you had a plan.
Of sorts. But, open to input.
I'll begin.
And I explained to her the plan, same plan I gave the kobolds.
Okay.
And frankly, if you have intelligence on what our kobold friends refer to as bait for the council district, do let us know. Something that would tempt them out of their hidey hole.
And you say Sam Vilhain leads this?
Absolutely, or at least he is, well, he's second fiddle to Serenovi herself, but yes.
I believe that I can offer him bait.
Intriguing. What do you have?
Myself.
Why do you interest him?
What do you know about him?
Very little. Except that, I didn't trust his sincerity from the beginning, and yet all I could sense was sincerity. I believe him to be a true believer, which is frightening.
My order was destroyed by a single being. We did not see it coming. It was suddenly in our midst, and it bore two swords. Half of my order died in the moment he drew the black one. And the golden one remained in its sheath. We had no need of it, apparently. We could not see its face. But if Sam Vilhain leads, then it may be that he is hiding more than is apparent.
I agree. I have suspicions about him that are vague at best, but perhaps he would understand them best. In almost our first encounter with him, he seemed to have need of earth. And that speaks to me, specific earth, and that speaks to me of the undead.
Earth? What do you mean, Earth?
Can I just describe to her what my memory is?
Yeah.
Or what we found? Yeah. With his seal, like, that was clearly personal to him and important enough to him to respect us for saving it.
Where was it from?
I don't think we ever knew. It
No,
was
you
was
guys
in
did not
the
look for any kind
warehouse.
of paperwork or anything
Yeah.
to know where it was from.
It was in a warehouse. It was presumably not Onishirian, but foreign. Shit.
Then your suspicion, I think, is correct. Have you ever seen him walk in daylight?
No. And in fact, our literal bug. Can I describe to
Yeah.
her what we learned from
Describe
the
the
bug? Was
routine.
that
Yeah.
his routine?
Then it is likely that he is a vampire.
I hated his stupid face from the moment I met him.
You guys
guys found 6-foot-long boxes of dirt.
Exactly. That's why I was like, this is gonna be such Dracula. Now that I'm thinking about this, is such Dracula vibes that.
How has he maintained his position as councilman if he never walks in the sunlight?
It's an interesting question.
He's a junior councilor. We had discounted his role. But if what you say is correct, then we must reevaluate.
He does seem to have very loyal staff. And I can describe like Rufus and all those
Yeah.
people. Like he might be being covered for by people who are clearly not undead.
Can I assume at this point that you've described kind of all of your guys' encounters with,
Yeah.
with him and the guards?
Yeah.
Well, he clearly has arcane power at his disposal. A disguise would not be difficult. My order has survived as long as it has, because we know everything about our targets before striking. If Sam Velhain is from a different continent, he is clearly a lord. It is unlikely that Sam Velhain is his real name, and we know nothing of him. Have you seen him personally wield any magic? You say that he is a true believer. Faith is impossible for the undead.
It's an interesting question, because is the contracts that he offered us to sign magical? Because my sense was that they kind of were. So I explained the contracts to her, and I've had encounters with this sort of contract magic with the Freemans, which is clearly magical.
And you've suffered no ill effects?
Well, frankly, I
Shoji says, well, I died.
Yes, she did die. Well, I did not break my contract with him. I refused the contract. But one person who has is our friend Karina, who tried to deceive through the contract.
And she has suffered no ill effects?
Not that I sense directly from the contract, she certainly has suffered. She's lost an eye.
I am unaware of any magic that would not activate immediately upon breaking the contract. Sam Velhain clearly has access to significant resources, so I would not say that it is outside the realm of possibility, only that it is unlikely.
Yes. And certainly if you might have seen him with these double swords, you have seen the power that he wields, that he's clearly magical. But I must tell you that my sense of him as a true believer comes from my observation of him as a person, as in what he was saying to us all the time. That he seemed to always believe what he said. But whether or not that is faith, I cannot answer you.
Before against. What keeps them alive is what would be their faith of the thing sustaining them. I think that him knowing that he would be dead and what would not sustain him, that's the thing that he's fighting for.
Durina, I mean no offense. You have clearly suffered well, but you know nothing of what you speak. How to make this simple and efficient. Most undead who return are one of two things. Either they have not seen the other side, they went mad and clung to matter out of fear or desperation. They know nothing but that. Or they are seized, stripped, and forced into a body, and if they were not mad before, that process surely drives them so.
Almania absolutely has something to say about
I
that.
was about to say,
Yeah.
Almania has to chime in here. And frankly, Shoji would be able to chime in here.
You
looking at Almania, neither of you is undead. You were, if what you describe is accurate, a new body was constructed and tailored to your soul. As far as I know, that process is impossible.
Great powers at work, I suppose.
Yes, I see that they exist, and clearly it is possible. But I do not understand the workings of it. It should not be.
We've also seen another type of resurrection, much less benign than what you see amongst my friends. Can I describe to her the creepy Lyra's body being reused blood ritual?
And you were friends with this person.
I was friends with Lyra, whose body was stolen.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Lyra sacrificing herself, but the
resurrection of the blood priestess in her body.
Then my fears are confirmed. And either something very old has been discovered and mastered by our foes, or the Red Goddess truly exists. In which case we are likely all doomed.
If I might put in my very small 2 cents, from all of our various encounters that we've had throughout the city, throughout with the various acolytes of this blood priestess, I believe she is real and that she is divine.
Then why do you think that you remain in possession of your will?
Because she is not all powerful.
But she should be. If she is a goddess, and there are none to oppose her, then there is no reason to think that this reality remains stable. It is quite likely that she has rewritten it according to her own plans.
Domnia has something to say about that.
I know, I'm just saying.
Damia does. There is another goddess in existence. Her name is Silhalun. She is weak, but she is here. The woman looks at her, says the demon.
Please. I understand the prejudice against tieflings. I've lived it my entire life, but
It is not a prejudice,
I
it
know
is
it's-
a biological fact.
it is a truth. But I merely speak of my own observation. That, and of an old friend, which was Lyra and Talia, that it seems to me that gods, and I know we have very little experience with them, but of the 2, perhaps, that I have experience with, they gain their power through faith itself. The more faithful, the more powerful they are.
The faith of a mortal can only take you so far.
The faith of thousands of mortals can take you very far indeed.
Then you would fight against the tide.
Absolutely, I have my whole life.
The faith of 1,000 mortals against the faith and the despair of 1,000,000?
Yes. What else is there but to fight?
Now you ask true philosophical questions.
It seems to me there are 2 choices, and I admit that I'm perhaps becoming more black and white in my old age. But I see a blood goddess before me, and frankly Sambalhain himself offered me this choice. He said, join with the blood goddess, give up, or be my enemy. And to me there was only one choice out of those 3. And I chose to be his enemy, and her goddess's enemy to whatever end.
Do you often allow your enemies to dictate your choices?
Well, frankly, it seemed to me that those were the only choices I could see as well.
Well, if I may speak out of turn once again with my fraction of knowledge that I know nothing about. If you speak of suffering and of fighting, what is a greater form of suffering than to fight against what might be an impossible tide? It's not suffering if you die and give up. Suffering is to continue through the hardship. And if you believe that suffering is salvific in some way, then joining our side and helping us is just the greatest form of your ideal. Right?
You see the first smile on her face. It has been almost completely expressionless until now, and a very small and very sad but also kind of proud smile creeps across her face as she looks at Durina. Perhaps you possess some wisdom after all. Age, you have won it well.
Humbly.
We can work together.
You do know that we're all going to die in 3 days, whether we fight or not. I mean,
You should listen to your friend.
I agree. We're going to suffer. We're going to die. It is not useless.
No, we won't.
But
We
you
will struggle
must
against it.
not accept dying. But you must not give completely over to hope. It is in that pain, as your friend understands, that you exist and know that it is yours.
Believe me. I was born, so to speak, out of my suffering. I understand. I suppose I just don't believe in false hope, only true hope. And I believe in
There is no difference.
I believe in the lost cause. And that there's value in fighting for it.
There is no inherent value in fighting for it, only in knowing that you are fighting for what will likely fail.
Precisely.
Good. Then let us begin.
Fantastic. 2 questions. I need a fire. Make you some food. You're looking a little shambly over there.
The practical man.
We're gonna need as much toilet paper as you want.
I don't know what toilet paper is,
Welcome to the Middle Ages.
and we should not burn one out here. We are exposed, and the sun is going down. We should get underground as soon as possible.
Agreed.
Durina flinches at that.
Or one of the kobolds.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. The woman introduces herself as Nerdwil Noro,
Real Nora.
the Witchlight of the Death Watch.
Oh dang. Spell
As-
that for me.
I'm sorry?
Spell that for me.
Nerdwil, Nerdduil, Noro, Noro.
Sorry, which light?
The Witchlight.
Nordeal.
Yeah, but which one?
Thank you. Who is on first?
And human?
She's got slightly tapered ears. So she's not an elf, but there's some in there somewhere. As she kind of stands up and begins to walk, you notice that her right hip kind of hitches up as she takes a step, and her right leg is working, but she swings it a little bit more than she steps. It's subtle, but it's there. And you notice that her shoulders sit slightly offset from her hips. And so in kind of this old woman in this plate mail, clearly deformed or maimed somehow, kind of limps her way swiftly to the ladder and begins climbing down, and she leads you into Risten Point. Inside, they have there are several other people inside. So you see Weeflo and 3 others. A human, another mostly human with kind of tapered ears, and a halfling, all wearing like scribes' robes that are dirty and tattered and soiled. They have a decent amount of food, but are clearly rationing it quite severely. They are all starved, despite the fact that they have several barrels of pickled food and salted, some kind of salted meat, and a few other things. Of the 5 members of the Death Watch down here, only the Witchlight seems at all combat capable. All of the rest are kind of stick thin and huddled. You also notice that all of them have some sort of crippling injury. All of them have either a limp or have an arm that is just non-functioning and is just kind of strapped to their chest. And they all just kind of watch you with kind of deadened eyes as you all kind of file in, get settled. She uses, the Witchlight uses her holy symbol twice to get through kind of first a hatch in the floor and then a disguised stone wall that actually kind of shifts and rolls on some kind of, what are they called? Why am I blanking on it? When you've got a swivel that has the beads inside it, they actually swivel on the, what is it? Ball bearings, thank you. That clearly slide on some kind of metal ball bearings or something. But the holy symbol kind of releases some kind of energy as you guys go through that then snaps back into place when that door or wall is closed behind you. You're not sure how far you are underground. Durina, it's certainly enough to make you feel uncomfortable. The air down here is just kind of hot and stuffy and smells of refuse. And we will pause there for this week.
We didn't die.
Yeah, no, you guys sealed your alliance.
We got more allies.
You sealed your alliance with Bright Lord Birdbones. Or sorry,
Delightful.
Bright Lord Firehands, formerly Birdbones. And you have made contact with what appears to be the last of the Death Watch, elite vampire, well, undead hunters. So yeah. Cool. Well done. Where's my stuff?
In our awesome guest star special.
Yes, thank you so much to
Thank you both.
to Nick and Yoshi for coming by and taking a couple of the NPCs off my hands.
Just a couple Southern boys.
Yep,
Good boys.
just a couple. Of course, we're
grand.
down
Actually,
2 player
technically-
characters, so I still was running 3 NPCs, but
Sorry.
there was no combat.
I was about to say, you didn't throw us in the combat.
Not really as complicated.
We shot one kobold.
Oh, that's true. You did kill
We
a
murked
kobold.
a kobold and ate him.
That is technically
Not yet.
We almost ate. We are about to
technically
eat him.
called a swobold.
We are about to
That
eat.
is-
I
a
love that.
swobold.
I've seen that, yeah.
That is the actual name on the stat block, and it's just amazing. Swobold, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We hope to see you again next week. In the meantime, join Becca and crew as they continue their Call of Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express game. Visit our website, iconicproduction.wordpress.com, where you can find our full lineup of podcasts, including actual play shows like this one, only probably not as depressing. We have.
Sorry, guest stars, about our depressing campaign.
We also have merchandise on Redbubble, which you can find by going to Redbubble and searching iconic product. We also add more items to Redbubble for every, I think it's 10 viewers on the stream. So spread this to all of your friends, or if you hate it, we'll take your enemies. Check out my friend Alex's YouTube channel, The Modular DM, where he walks you through making everything from taverns to dungeons, and then invites you to steal it for your own campaign. He does the hard work so that you don't have to. And finally, we are so excited to be back at the gaming studio, and we are very grateful to do so with the support of our local game shop, Petrie's Family Games. You will soon be able to see some of the amazing merchandise that you can pick up here on screen. We encourage you to visit them if you are in the area and to support your local game store regardless. If you don't have a local game store, you can check out Petrie's Family Games on the web. Have a lovely week, and we hope that you stay happy, healthy, and safe.
Goodbye.